2, 1.
Oh my gosh, that was so epic.
I think that's it.
There he is. You guys ready? Let's pull it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh. Hey! And JB's on there!
600!
600! Yes! Yay! 600 mile time. That would be just. So here we are, back with the real supercharger. Okay, we are on the test track.
They'd recommend putting your head on the headrest.
Okay.
There he's ready.
Nope. Yep. Oh, there it goes. Oh, that never gets old either. We have the post-study production cars here.
Wait, what?
Yeah, oh yeah, you watch it.
Well, why is he gonna throw it?
I don't know, but we're gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Just use a sledgehammer. What?
Well, maybe that was a little too hard.
I'm Eric, otherwise known as Derek, here in Shanghai at Gigafactory 3.
Ballapalooza. It's like tricks.
3, 2, 1.
Will it wipe is the big question of the day.
Will it wipe?
Generic cornflakes.
Whoa! It's raining cornflakes! Oh. This is trippy. Look, there's nothing here.
Hello again, everyone. Today is Sunday, March 13th, 2022. I'm David, this is Eric. Together we're Derek, and we're going to talk with you about almost everything that's new in the world of Tesla over the past week. And after that, we'll open it up to questions and answers.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Hopefully everyone had a good 2 weeks. Has it been 2 weeks since we were live?
Yeah.
I think because we weren't live last week because just life happens. You know how that works. But last week we did have some really exciting news.
Oh yes, we finally,
on
Sunday morning we woke up, we saw we finally have not a VIN, but we do have.
Oh, you almost said the V word though.
That, but we don't. We do have an estimated delivery date range for our Model X, which, as many of you might remember, we ordered back in December of 2020.
Yes. Does that camera look okay to everybody?
Looks fine to me.
Okay, yeah, it looks fine. Okay, cool. Just doing a VIN check, no VIN.
Yes. So we've been waiting a while on that,
we're here.
but there is hope that we might be getting it by the end of the month.
Yes, fingers crossed. One of our good friends, Dan, aka the Gringo Show in chat, brought over his brand new 2022 Model X today, and we got to check it out, and it made me super excited to get ours again, because it's been so long. I was getting kind of bummed, but actually like seeing with it, playing with it, like checking it out, the new tail light, charge door, made me super excited again. So
Yes. And it definitely looked nice with the white interior, which is what we're going to be getting on ours.
yes, absolutely love that. So fingers crossed, ours comes soon. Thank you, Dan. I see you're in chat. Thank you so much for coming over. Really appreciate it. The Model X is beautiful.
Yeah,
Very
it was, and
jealous.
it looked great. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
we looked around. He had us kind of check to see if we could find anything wrong with it. And overall, I thought it was in great condition. We saw a couple of little things. We said, hey, maybe you want to, mention this to the service center. But other than that, I mean, it was in great shape.
Yes, definitely. Sorry, trying to get aligned here. There we go. Okay, so let's just jump right into the news, and then we'll open it up, question and answer. Maybe some other news I have to talk about later. We'll do that after the news. But first thing first. Sorry, I got to catch my breath for this one because this is super exciting. New EPA listing for Model Y. Could it be the 4680s? Maybe.
I think most likely, because
I'm hopeful.
We've heard rumors, that or even Elon himself said they were going to be delivering the new Model Y, maybe by the end of the quarter. But we did see that they're not having their actual event in Austin until early April.
Exactly.
So we're not sure if we're going to see them by the end of the month or not. But definitely shows that they're probably doing something new, and that only makes sense that it would be the 4680 cell Model Y.
Yep. And so some sneaky people on Twitter found this out. It said Tesla seems to be getting ready to release a new Model Y standard range. We don't know what factory, what battery, none of that. Could it be LFPs, 2170s, 4680s? Nothing quite sure yet, but it was actually released on March 3rd, and it was just found out recently with a combined range of about 279 compared to the long range is 330. So that's really exciting, actually, because hopefully it'll come at a cheaper price point, which cheaper price point, it's one of the other things we need to talk about, but Model 3 and Y did experience another $1,000 price increase. The price of nickel's going up, the price of everything is going up. So hopefully this comes in at a lower price point. But some of the other specs, 292 miles city, 263 highway, 279 combined from fueleconomy.gov. And then they kind of went through some scenarios, which I kind of like the second one better, but we'll go through both of them. New Model Y 2170 cells in Fremont. And then Fremont may stop making long range and performance versions. And then Texas would only make those. So, I mean, a possibility. But scenario 2, which I kind of like a little bit more, is standard range produced at Giga Texas with 4680 cells, but just fewer of them because the 4680 ramp is slow. So that honestly makes the most sense to me.
Only thing is that I bet that standard range one is going to be really high demand.
Oh,
And-
100%.
And especially if it's at a lower price point.
Yeah.
But, we'll see how many orders they get for that. They'll probably get a lot, but it's just I don't know if the limited supplies of 4680 cells will be able to cover that all there in Austin.
That's true. I guess either one of those scenarios is going to require a lot of batteries.
I think they're going to sell a lot
yeah.
no matter what. And like we were talking about before, we thought, well, maybe the performance would be the ones that would get the 4680 first. So maybe this, I don't know, in which case, maybe this isn't the 4680 cells that we're seeing.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll find out shortly.
Yeah. Hold on. Some people were saying your mic is a little low, so I'm just going to bump it up just a little bit.
Yep.
It's okay. We're just going to bump that up a little bit. Hopefully that's okay. Next up, so we just mentioned a little bit, but Model 3 and Y did receive a $1,000 price increase. That being said, a fully spec'd out Model Y is now over $80,000.
Yeah.
That's expensive.
Yeah, it's getting way up there. I mean, the price of everything has gone up recently,
Yeah.
but it's just amazing because for a while there, Tesla had the Model S at like less than $70,000, and when we put in our order back there at the beginning of 2021,
Yeah.
it was only slightly more than $70,000. for that. And then, once we got a few other things that came in, there was that price increase, so it brought it into 80. But comparing the two, I think we definitely had the better deal by getting the brand new Model S for about the same price as what they're now charging for the Model Y. That does include the full self-driving, though, doesn't it? So there's a price difference.
Yes,
right
it
there.
does.
Yeah.
But if you look at this, if we go performance, most expensive paint, the wheels, the tow hitch, the white, and FSD, you're at $80,990. Yeah. That's a big chunk of change for Model Y, in my opinion.
How much is it for the non-performance, like just the long range then?
So the cheapest vehicle, or cheapest Model Y that you can do, free, well, included, we'll say that. Free. And then remove that, is $59,990. Yeah. So that, $60,000, still expensive, don't get me wrong, but that is a much better price. Because when we were looking at the Kia, it was $60,000.
Yeah, the EV6. Yeah.
And video on that coming later. We just had a heck of a week. I'll go into it after the news. That's why we didn't buy it, is because compared $60,000 to a Tesla, I feel I get more bang for the buck with the Tesla.
And what is the range on that, the cheapest Model Y there compared to?
It is 330.
Yeah, so that's definitely way more range than what the Kia EV6 offered.
Yes.
And so it definitely, at that price point, definitely you would choose the Model Y.
Exactly. But kind of on that same note, with this price increase, it would appear that Tesla is prioritizing people that are going to be buying FSD. So I'm just going to run through this real quick. If you get a Model Y Performance, and we're just going to leave everything the same, no full self-driving, it says May 2022 up here. Now, if you do Model Y Performance, or I think it's actually the long range that it is. Yep, that's what it is. It's the long range, my bad. So long range Model Y with full self-driving is May of 2022.
Which is not too bad.
If you remove this, it jumps to September 2022, just for removing a software feature. So a lot of people were talking about this. I think it was Sawyer that noted it on Twitter first. Are they trying to prioritize the few cars? Few. They're still delivering a ton of cars, but obviously things are affected by the supply chain. Are they trying to prioritize FSD cars so that they can gain more from that? Now, Tesla can't recognize that full 12,000 yet because it's not complete, but they can recognize a good chunk of it. So there's a lot of speculation on why they're doing that, and a lot of people aren't very happy with that. So
yeah, and some people are wondering, can we put that on our order, and then once we get an estimated delivery date or we get our VIN, can we then remove it?
Yeah.
And chances are, what we've seen in the past is that, yes, you can remove the full self-driving. It doesn't affect the price of the car other than reducing it by the price of full self-driving. But if you've already been assigned a VIN, we haven't heard of anybody who then gets it taken away from them.
Right. So, I mean, that's one thing, too, that we need to decide on coming up. Our Model X right now has full self-driving. It is, I believe, $10,000. So it's a little cheaper than the 12 it is now. But is that something that we should continue with? Or should we cancel or remove the full self-driving and just do the subscription on that car?
Yeah, because that's one thing we've done with the last couple of cars
Yep.
since they've started offering the subscription instead of the full price, is that we've just gotten the subscription on like the Plaid, and I can't remember if we got it on the car before that too, but
I don't think so.
okay, on the Model Y, or no, you did.
I paid for it on that.
Self-driving on that, so it was
Yeah.
just the Plaid so far that we've bought it, and yes.
So, I mean, it's one thing we need to kind of consider is where full self-driving is, where it's going. And I guess at the end of the day, what the finance charge extra increase would be. So we have some math stuff to figure out and kind of figure out how long we plan on keeping this car.
Yeah, because that's the thing.
Because there's several scenarios.
Yeah, and in the past, we've spent a lot of money on autopilot and full self-driving over the last 6 years. And since we have upgraded our cars a little more often than most people would, it wouldn't have really worked out in our favor to pay for that, which we did. But that was because the full self-driving subscription wasn't available. So that's why I think going forward, we'll probably just stick with the subscription when we do want to get full self-driving. It's definitely a good deal if you're going to be keeping the car long term. And
Yeah.
when we did buy like my S90D back at the end of 2016, we didn't get it right away, but it was added when I sold my car. But other cars we bought, like the S100D, we got it, and the oh boy, over the years we've bought it on many cars. And again, we were expecting to keep those cars a lot longer, but when new technology came up, we ended up upgrading.
Yeah, so I guess that's what we need to kind of consider now is we have the long range S, we're getting a long range X. We'll definitely get the Cybertruck once that comes because I would like to make that my daily. So we just need to decide kind of what you would like to see as your daily eventually. Would you keep the S or would you potentially keep the X?
Remains to be seen.
I'm not complaining. This is not a bad problem to have. I'm just saying, like, we need to figure out because it's like $10,000 at stake here.
Yeah.
So not a nice size chunk.
The good
of
thing
change.
is we can always add it at a later date. We don't need to buy
Exactly.
it when taking delivery of the car.
The only thing though is if we add it at a later date, are we gonna have to pay the $12K?
I believe so, yes.
Hey.
So that would cost an extra couple thousand.
A lot of weighing out to do, unfortunately. But something I guess we should think about soon if we're gonna get our Model X. Moving up, so a lot of news about S and X, obviously. Well, they have now made landfall in China. So that's actually pretty exciting because this could mean that they are sending some cars there for, they still do like kind of their own like homologation kind of thing like the US does. So Sawyer noted it here because someone by the name of Bent V_SH was able to get this from one of their YouTube videos. And these are the first known refresh S and X's. And these were actually at the Tesla factory there. So it's not like a customer imported these from the United States or something. So I'm really excited to see the charge port on these because that was the whole idea behind Tesla making that new charge port door so that they don't have to have like the gas cap thing in the side of the vehicle.
I have seen some other vehicles in China, not the new Model X and S, but so I can't remember. It was probably the Model Y, but it did have both of those charge ports under the one flap there.
Nice. So that's what I really want to see because having that extra like chunk taken out of the side, it just doesn't look great. So I think that's kind of why Tesla went with the bigger charge port door because it really streamlines the process and the vehicle.
Yeah, and plus it will allow like CCS adapter, or excuse me, CCS port, like in Europe when they have the cars there, it will allow them to definitely put that CCS port in there directly.
Yep.
And who knows, maybe someday we will be seeing that in the United States. But if not, it will still allows more room for that CCS adapter whenever it is released in the United States.
Which we have some on order. We'll see when they arrive. Next up, so speaking of Shanghai and how Model S and X refresh are showing up there, I just wanted to give a shout out to Tesla China real quick. Claps in chat. In February, they sold 56,515 vehicles.
Wow.
That's crazy for a factory that 2 years ago, a little more than 2 years ago, was it 3 years ago, was dirt.
Yep. That's like 2,000 cars a day because February's, a shorter month. So that's 2,000 a day.
That's a big chunk. And to be honest, like this is really helping out everything because they're able to export those as well. And I know a lot of people originally were like, oh, I wouldn't want a car manufactured in China, but Tesla's doing everything to Tesla specs. And I have personally gone to China and seen a made in China Model 3 and it looks great. I honestly, if you would put them side by side, I would know no better.
Yeah, unless you're looking like they have a different badge.
A different badge
rear.
and the VIN is different. But besides that, no one would ever know. So I'm sure I haven't heard any complaints of anyone who's gotten any of the Model Ys that have been exported or anything like that. So I'm really happy as an investor and also a Tesla fan, the status of Shanghai and what Tesla has been able to accomplish. We just want to see that now replicated in Berlin and Austin.
And speaking of Berlin, we did hear, what was it, last week, that they finally did get like the final approval.
Yeah, and I believe it is March 22nd.
So coming
will be
soon.
The first deliveries. So, I mean, what is that?
It's like 2 weeks away.
Not even 2 weeks.
Yes.
So that's coming right up. Now, the weird thing is all this great news is going to hit and the stock price is going to go down because that's just how Tesla stock works. It makes no sense. But I mean, as of lately, I was just pulling up Tesla stock to see where it's at now. It's been a weird week. We've had our highs, we've had lows. I think we ended the week at like 800, a little under 8. So
Definitely gone down from where it was like 1,200 a few months ago.
Yeah.
But there's been a lot of stuff going on in the world and with Tesla. So hopefully it'll be going back here as soon as like Austin and Berlin deliveries start up.
And I've been seeing a lot of like investor talk that everyone's planning, like once Austin goes online in Berlin, they're saying that's paving the way for Tesla to jump up to 1,400 plus. Not investment advice, but to be honest, I kind of feel like Tesla is a really good buying opportunity right now. And I myself have even added a few lately here and there. Again,
definitely with
not
the price
investment advice, but it seems cheap at this point.
Cheaper, definitely, yes.
True.
Still not cheap.
I'd add a little asterisk down here. It seems like a good deal at this point. So I don't know. And there's still been that talk about another potential split. Maybe we'll see that later this year, because that would honestly make it skyrocket even more. So I don't know. A lot of exciting things coming with all Tesla's factories coming online. And then I want to kind of end, well, we have two great stories to end with Tesla. This one I think is really exciting, makes me super happy. But Tesla wins Kelley Blue Book's Best Overall Luxury Brand Award for the third year in a row. That makes me super excited because there's so many of these third-party review companies that are just paid by all these other car manufacturers for advertising, so they never view Tesla as any form of like positive or anything. So I was happy to see that Kelley Blue Book awarded that for yet another year, and is not just looking at who pays advertising. They're looking at the vehicle itself, the overall experience, how people feel about it. That makes me happy. I like to see that because I want numbers to talk, not someone's paying to get that to talk. And then the last big news, do you want to cover this one?
Which one? The Ukraine?
Yeah,
Oh,
Ukraine.
Basically,
some good,
yeah.
a little bit of
Basically,
benefit.
it's not really car related, but Tesla did announce that for all of their like Ukrainian employees that might have to be sent back to be conscripted or fight for the war there in the Ukraine, that Tesla is going to be paying them for at least 3 months of salary, even without them being there. So that definitely is a good on Tesla's part.
Yep, and they said they'll review this in 3 months and kind of see the status. But I mean, Tesla themselves have been doing a lot, and same with Starlink. Starlink has sent at least 1, maybe 2 shipments already, and they have removed the GPS requirement, so they can actually make them mobile hotspots, which is what we talked about long ago. And then also Tesla is sending Powerwalls.
Definitely, yeah, because we had mentioned that the Ukraine, they were saying they were receiving those, but hey, they said they needed generators because they don't have electricity, and so they were reaching out to Honda and other companies that make portable generators. And I'm like, why not use Powerwalls? Tesla is sending them Powerwalls as well. Now, not everybody's getting one, but definitely they're sending to like the government there, so they will be able to get online and keep some sort of internet communications going.
Yeah, so super happy to see that. And if you guys weren't here 2 weeks ago, we did do a fundraiser. And we actually, I think the total number, including what we matched, was like $1,200.
A little over $1,200. Yeah.
So we donated that, and I posted some screenshots. I think, was it just on Twitter? Did I post it on YouTube as well?
I think it was just Twitter.
Okay, I will post that on YouTube afterwards. Huge shout out to anyone who donated. Really, really appreciate all you guys for helping out with that fundraiser. Really appreciate it. That's it from the news. I think that's it.
And again, I think we should mention again, thanks to Dan for bringing by his brand new Model X.
Let me pull up a photo real quick.
He just took delivery of it a little over like a week and a half ago, and he already has like close to 900 miles on it. So he definitely has been putting some miles on it, driving around. He definitely loves his car. He can't believe how amazing it is. I think he was saying it's like his best car ever. And we snapped a few pictures. As you can see, my Model S isn't as clean as it could be, but we've had a lot of snow here recently. But check it out. He's got his blue Model X there, 2022, next to my 2022 Model S.
I can't, like, seeing the X, that's actually the first refresh X I had been in. And now,
Yeah, I don't think I've been in an X for like over a year
good,
because
yeah.
there was nothing around for a year. So it's maybe been 2 years since I've seen a model or been in one because we haven't hung out with our friends who own Model X's that much.
Yeah.
So it was nice to see one and sit in one again.
Yeah.
And again, we saw a few changes, some things we hadn't heard about. We saw a few things that still hadn't changed that we wish would change, but it was a great car.
oh yeah, definitely. Overall, like the weird thing is really the fundamentals of the Model X haven't changed since we had ours. The overall vehicle, the seat layout, stuff like that
Yep.
never changed. It's just the new dash has changed, and I haven't seen that in a Model X yet. And I love it even more, and I got super excited to receive ours.
I think one thing we noticed that hadn't changed, which we were kind of surprised, was the repeater cameras. They have
yeah.
changed, but they are not the same repeaters as what you'll see in the Model S Long Range or the Model S Plaid.
Yep.
Those vehicles have a much, they stick out more, the repeater cameras, just so they can see around the rear of the car
Quarter
now.
panels, yeah.
But the Model X, they didn't need that because they didn't widen it. So it was interesting to see those were different cameras.
So, kind of on that note, do you think they're going to widen Model X at some point?
I don't think
Because it's already really big.
and I don't see the need anytime soon. They
No.
already did all these other changes, so I don't think they're gonna do another one like that. Now I think we did mention it had the new like charge port similar to what's
Yep.
on the 3 and the Y, but we noticed it was actually different. It had like two little like actuators or whatever in there, so when it opens up and then it does another one, it opens up even farther, and that's something we hadn't noticed or heard of before, and it definitely looks like a more sturdy, I guess,
Definitely
connection
more robust.
than that's what's on the 3 of the Y. Also, we did notice the brake lights had changed, but this car did not have the new headlights. And we don't think any Model X has the new Matrix headlights yet. They were just recently approved, like last month, and I've heard the Model S is starting to get those, but I don't think we're seeing those on the X this quarter. Maybe next quarter or the quarter after that.
Yeah, we'll kind of do a video recap of what we kind of found with it, but I'll show you the charge port door real quick, a little video I took, because it's really kind of cool. It like opens, and then another thing like pops it open even more. I thought it was kind of interesting. So check that out. You can see it opens,
And then
and then like this little
Yeah.
bottom, you can see there's actually like two curved pieces. This little bottom one pushes it even a little bit more and just makes it that much more out of the way, which I kind of like. Actually,
Yeah.
I really like it.
And you can definitely see there's room in there, like we were talking about in China, to have both the AC and the DC charge ports,
Yep.
or the larger CCS charge port in Europe.
Yeah, so
So they got rid of the ring, just like with the 3 and the Y. They don't have a ring around the port anymore. There's
Yep.
just the Tesla logo. Here it's on the top right, and that's what lights up to show you when the car is charging.
Yeah. Definitely a good job. Almost looks like they kind of like over-engineered it a little bit, but it looks super sturdy, which is nice. So yeah, super big fan of that. Let's see. Oh, I guess we did not put this in the news, but this is newsworthy this week that Elon and Grimes actually have a baby girl.
Oh, yes. This
And
surprise.
so I think they've been calling her Y.
Why? Yes.
So they have X and Y.
I
Which,
kind of
let me
just-
say, the AE symbol is in both of their names.
But now, really? So thank you for paying homage to us, Elon and Grimes.
We appreciate
but now,
it.
Here's one thing. Shouldn't they have named the boy Y and the girl X?
Damn, you right. You right.
Just saying, XX or XY,
You're right.
the boy should have been Y, the girl should have been X.
Yeah, it's 2022. You can be whatever you want.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, that's true. But I'm just going by
technically,
chromosomes.
as in chromosomes, that makes complete sense.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that, which is weird because that's kind of what I do for a living.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe you want my job?
No thanks.
Okay, well, we offered. Okay. Anyway, let's see. I think that's pretty much it. Let's kind of go through some questions here. John said I did post it on YouTube, so we're good. The
Okay, yeah,
the picture.
for the donations.
Yep.
Yeah, and that was a pretty good chunk. Thanks again to everyone who donated to that a couple weeks ago.
Definitely. Let's see. Otis said Tesla dropped the price of the wall connector from $550 to $495.
Oh wow,
That's interesting. A price drop.
I wonder if that means they're coming out with it.
I was just gonna say. I bet that means another one is on its
Clean out
way.
the old inventory.
Yo.
I don't know
Let's see. Roar Alwyn said Model X plaid is still wider than Model S plaid, so definitely won't be widened. Yeah,
I don't
Model
think-
X is wider anyway, so
Yeah.
it's big. Let's see.
I see Be Kind, I'm just jumping in.
Yep.
Be Kind picked up his plaid Model X on March 3rd in Littleton. So
Oh.
congratulations.
Oh, wow.
We'll be picking our
Wait a minute.
long range one up in Littleton hopefully later this month. We did pick up, let's see, the plaid that we got was up in Superior, but as many of you know, the Superior Service Center has been out of service for the last couple of months since
Yeah.
they had the fires up there.
Be Kind. So I was at Littleton. This
Oh,
was
I haven't seen
taken
his guy.
February 18th, so it probably wasn't yours.
Oh, yeah.
But I did see this beautiful plaid when I was there. Gorgeous. Absolutely
probably
gorgeous.
a
The
couple
white on
weeks
white.
before his was there, yeah.
Ooh, so good. Can't wait. Congrats, though, on your vehicle. That's awesome. Diego said, do you think the new wall connector prices because there might be a refresh coming on that also? Yeah,
Yeah,
like you
that's
said.
what
I
I'm
mean,
thinking. Could be.
how many iterations, though, of wall connectors have they come out with over
I
the
know
years?
because we
There's
have
a
like
lot.
we have the signature ones, and then they came out with the ones with the glass plate. But
But the ones with the glass plate don't do 72 amp.
yeah, they're only like 48 max, whereas ours
Right.
can go up to 80 actually. But no, Tesla doesn't make cars that do 80 currently. But anybody who has some of those older vehicles from like before 2016, actually even 2017, some of those vehicles could go up to 72 at least.
Yeah.
But who knows what the Cybertruck will have? I still think the Cybertruck, or maybe some of
Maybe
these
dual?
it would be nice if they went back and allowed 72, because with these larger battery capacities, it'd be neat if they had a way to charge them faster. Again, you can typically plug it in and charge it all overnight, but I know a lot of people, especially if you don't live close to a supercharger, it'd be nice if you had ability to charge them over 48 amps.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, and Amy is asking why there has not been any puppy cam.
Oh.
She just sent a super chat. So thank you, Amy.
So
for that.
I'm still getting used to the foot pedals, but watch
Yeah.
this. Look.
Is the camera right direction?
No
Oh,
hands confetti.
Wow.
Thank you so much for the $2 super chat, Amy. Really appreciate it. Let's get some dog cam.
Oh, it's a little off there in my slipper cam. Woo. But yeah, Kit was using Layden as a pillow earlier, but I guess he got tired and moved over. But yes.
They cuddle like this literally all the time. It's adorable. My parents were over this weekend and they brought their dog, so they all had a play date. It was really kind of cute.
Yep.
But yeah, thank you so much, Amy. Really do appreciate that. Let's see. Where am I? John said I have Model Y in the body shop to have some paint work done. Enterprise rent car rented a Kia Niro 220 mile range. Charge ports in the front, so I had to back into the garage to charge. Interesting. Don't like the front wheel drive. Oh, it's front wheel drive.
Which kind of car was that?
The Kia Niro.
Oh, okay. Yep.
I actually haven't checked out the Niro yet, the EV Niro, so I guess I should. Oh, actually, real quick, let's talk about some other EVs real quick. That was going to be some of the other news. We can't talk about what we're doing this week yet.
Oh, yes.
That's still secret.
But it is EV related.
It is very EV related. We just are not at liberty to talk about that.
Wait,
But
is that on Tuesday?
Yeah.
'Cause
Well,
I thought there was.
what if someone follows us around
Oh,
on Tuesday?
but I thought there was something else coming up this week that was on.
Is there another thing?
Or maybe I'm confusing and think, no, we got to do that on Tuesday. So I don't know, there's something.
Anyway,
I'm not double booked. Oh, I have a meeting.
Oh.
What time is it on Tuesday?
I'll tell you in a minute.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because remember I have my town meeting my meeting on Tuesday.
We should be done in time.
Okay. But
Back
now
to the
everybody knows
schedule
it's on
plan.
Tuesday. No surprise.
So the Kia EV6 decided to pass on that just because the price and everything. And I figured as soon as I get that, I would get the Model X, and I don't want to keep them both.
Yeah, we've been waiting
yeah.
for over a year. Like, I don't know the exact number of days, but we know Dan waited like
453 or something?
Or 57, something like that for his, and he ordered about 3 weeks before us. So we're getting close there because it's been another 10, 13 days since that. So we're probably right around 440, 450 days that we've been waiting on the X. And you know that yes, if we had purchased the Kia, that we would have got. Well, we did. We got our date range for the Model X. So it would have been bad to take delivery of that and then 2 weeks later have the Model X. So skipping the Kia.
Yep. And then we did a video on the Rivian and how they increased prices, and we had a like 20% price increase, like $19,000. Well, a few days afterwards, they decided to roll that puppy back. So the pricing will be back to what it was if you had your order in by that date. And any of you that had canceled because of that price increase, they will allow you to reinstate your order, which is nice of them to do.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of
Complaints.
a lot of complaints about that, and they were getting tons of cancellations, so they decided to roll back those price changes on those existing orders. And anybody ordering new, makes sense that they would have to pay newer prices, but at least it's good that they're going back to honor the original prices on those.
Exactly. So at first I was once I saw that price increase, I was kind of like, I don't really need it that bad, because it was a significant price jump.
Yeah.
Like, if it was like $5 or so grand, I probably would have been like, okay, I can kind of see that. But like 20 grand was a little crazy. So when that first hit, I was kind of just like, okay, maybe I will just not move forward with that. Also depending on timing and everything. But now that they will be honoring the prices, I think we'll definitely take delivery of that.
Yeah, and it's just like, as
So-
we've seen in the past with Tesla,
Yeah.
while they did have a couple big price changes, sometimes going up $10,000 at a time, they typically do these $500 or $1,000 or, staggered a little bit. And then maybe they'll have another price increase a couple of weeks later, but that still gives you a chance to get in at a lower price, whereas here, this was out of the blue. They raised the price, and as Eric said, it would have gone up $19,000 on our order. So that's a big price increase, especially when you already have an order that you put in over a year ago. They shouldn't be raising the price on something.
Yeah, well, I mean, so like Tesla, I guess I was more concerned also with the deposit. If it's like $100 deposit, maybe
it's not like a real
I'll let
order.
you get away with a little bit more fluidity on the price. But it was $1,000 deposit. That's a lot more. So I was kind of just like,
And we do know
Yeah.
that prices have gone up on like everything over the
yeah.
past year, but they definitely should do the right thing, and which it sounds like they did, that they're going to back and honor those prices. Now, it remains, as we saw, though, their stock price did take a big hit.
Oh, huge hit.
Definitely, and also they've reduced the number of estimated cars they're going to be delivering.
Yeah.
So it definitely sounds like it's taking them a little time to ramp up, which they weren't expecting.
Who called that? Elon called that. He warned them, and especially now with the way the world it is, it's even harder to get ramped up. But yeah, I think Diego kind of answered it a little bit. He said, would Rivian be your first non-Tesla EV? Yeah. We've had reservations in for a few of them, but it just, like the Kia, it just not great timing, to be honest.
Yeah, if it had come out a year ago when we put in
Yeah.
the reservation, like summer of 2021, we probably would have gone ahead and gotten it. But seeing
Yeah.
as the Model X is expected within a couple weeks, it doesn't make sense to get it now.
Yep. Now, we do still have a reservation for the Ford F-150 Lightning, which I think I have till the end of the month to actually configure. Otherwise, I might get put in the back of the line or they just auto-cancel it. So I guess we need to figure that out. But I don't think I'm going to get that either.
Because I think with that, I know some people are getting requirements that they're not allowed to sell the car.
Yeah,
and we
I'm
can't,
not signing
we
that.
can't buy a car with them telling us we can't sell it. If it's ours, we're going to sell it. And
Yeah.
so if they're not going to let us buy it because of that, then we're not going to buy it.
Yeah. So I'm definitely not signing a no sale clause because, I mean, life changes happen. Things happen. If they would let me borrow a press car, I wouldn't need to buy one. So I'll probably end up canceling that one. So yeah, I think Rivian. But honestly, the one thing I really love about Rivian, I know I've seen some comments that it's still a little suspect for Rivian at this time, which I agree. But the one nice thing is Rivian's kind of starting. Well, they are starting from scratch, really. Whereas Ford and all these other car companies are just modifying their current vehicles, and they're not really doing anything really special. So I'm very hopeful for Rivian. I really hope they do really well. So yeah, but yeah, that would be my first Tesla non-Tesla EV. It's kind of a mouthful to say, but yeah, I don't remember where I was. Chris said, "Do you think Tesla will produce Model 3s?"
I
don't know.
Wait, what?
Will Austin?
Because I'm like, well, they already did.
I think he meant Austin. He just
Yeah.
said, oh, he said Texas, not Tesla.
Okay,
I'm
okay,
dyslexic.
Okay.
It's been a wild week. So I don't think that's on their roadmap.
Yeah,
I think it's just why.
Yeah, I think they have enough demand that they could do all the Ys there, and who knows? While they said originally they were building Texas just to handle like central United States and East Coast, just to help with logistics and not having to spend as much transmitting the cars, I wouldn't be surprised if they split it up. It makes more sense to me to kind of just focus on, okay, do the Y here and the 3 here, and then that way they don't have to have 2 different Ys built in 2 different places. But if there's enough demand for it, maybe they still need to build them in both factories.
Yeah, true. I guess, yeah, it really boils down to the demand. I have a feeling Y is overtaking demand for the 3
and
anyway.
Elon said that before it even, or when it first was announced, it's going to sell more than the 3, the X, and the S combined.
Yep. Otis has a good comment here. Maybe the 4680 model will take higher AC charging, so the new wall connector is needed.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
And it also, as
More
we're seeing
power.
the Cybertruck coming out, that's what we're thinking is or the Roadster, when the Roadster is released, it definitely would be nice.
Yep. Chris is here in chat. He's the local
Chris?
with the 2 big dogs.
Oh yeah, Chris.
2 big dogs, maybe 3 big dogs, at least 2. And he said, just went to Littleton this afternoon and checked if my Model S has made it there yet. There were 4 Model X's, 3 plaid, and a long range. All were 2022s.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh, were any white on white? Because maybe I should call some people.
Yeah, I think I saw his little screen on his in his app where he's showing his estimated delivery date, right?
He has the red S.
Yeah, on Instagram or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, so definitely, I'm sure he's excited about that.
Yeah. Let's see.
Did he say he's gonna? I forget. Did he say he's gonna fit his dogs in that car?
The S?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. We've seen some Great Danes in a Model S before. Up when we were at the Sound of Silence in Custer a few years
She had
back.
it in the front seat.
Yeah, it was a big dog.
Yeah.
But he fit.
It was hilarious because it literally sat on the front seat and looked like a human being sitting there. It was that big. Ryan said, since 4680 is supposed to enable 16% increase in energy density, do you think we'll see corresponding increase in range? 382 miles or something for the long range. Honestly, I don't think we're going to see that for a while, because for them to increase the range like that, they would need a lot of cells, and I don't think they have that yet. I think, if anything, they will limit the number of cells to equal a very similar range to the vehicles with 2170s. That would be my guess until they fully get ramped up. So that way they don't have to put as many cells in each vehicle.
Yep.
So
Spread them out.
Yep. Let's see. Dan, aka the Gringo Show, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you both for the training today. I learned a lot. Thank you for getting the screen protectors on and walking me through autopilot. Used it on my way home. I was able to use the supercharger, no issues, ready for the road trip.
Yeah,
awesome.
good.
Congrats.
We helped him. We showed him a few secrets that he didn't know about yet. He's had the car, a week and a half, but we showed him how you can push the button on the front doors of the X and it will close it that way. We tried to show him the summon. We did show him the summon, but we found out some things have changed since we last used summon on the Model S. Because in the past we used to be able to summon from our driveway and send it out onto the street, but it looks like Tesla has now locked it down. Maybe they did that last year sometime, but you can no longer use summon on public streets. It's just for private drives and parking lots. And what else? We showed him a couple other things. I don't know. We got him set up with the phone as key, which is something where I think they had tried setting him up there at the service center, but they didn't quite know what they did. They basically added his phone so he could pair it. He could control it via the app, but he didn't have that phone as key functionality. So we got it.
But do you want to mention what solved it in case other people have that?
Basically, he just had to log out of the app and log back in because the section was not there to allow him to pair it. And but you did it. I was over at my car, trying to figure it out. And while I was there, you logged him out, logged him back in, and then it worked.
Yep, exactly. So glad we could help you out, Dan. Again, huge props on the car. Looks amazing. Super jealous. But real quick, actually, because we actually did the new install for the matte screen protector on the front and rear screen.
Yep.
And so
we also got him hooked up with Sirius. So basically,
the Sirius.
For those of you who have Sirius, it's not so obvious. But if you go to the Sirius tab for the audios, you got to scroll. Kind of slide all over, swipe over all the way on the right is where you can get your radio ID for the Sirius, and then if you call them, they'll be able to enable it. But it's just not. It's kind of hidden. It'd be nice.
It's
if
very hidden.
It should show up by default on the main screen because
Yeah.
if you don't have it activated yet, there's nothing for them to show.
Or just like a little carrot that said, like, shows you can
There's
swipe
more stuff over
and
there.
there's more stuff.
So definitely that's something
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know about, and I've heard of it, but since we don't have Sirius, we never had to go over there and use that yet. But it was
Yeah.
nice we were able to, and hopefully got that activated because he did call in and it only took a few minutes.
Yep, definitely. But since we were able to get his screen protector and everything installed, it made me remember our channel sponsor, Abstract Ocean. But I got a package in the mail this week, and this is kind of like my Model X starter kit. Because our Model X is coming, so I had to order some stuff. We got the screen protector. I've got the door handles with the white that matches the white exterior, so I can kind of be a little incognito.
Yep.
And I got 2 fob pockets. So this is like
Yeah.
my little Model X
And
starter
those are the
kit.
fob pockets like we had before for the Model S, so now we'll have them for the.
Yep, now we have them for the X so that the fobs are protected. Because what are those? $200-$300 a piece?
I think they're a little cheaper than that.
Oh, they are?
But
Okay.
yeah, but they're still not cheap.
I mean, we wouldn't want a puppy getting a hold of them and chewing them.
Yeah, that's happened
Now,
in the
would
past.
we?
Yeah,
As they're asleep. Nice. Okay.
they're acting all innocent.
We actually had that happen once, and the car started moving because we had summon on.
Or well, at least started flashing lights. It was getting ready to summon, and we ran into the house very quickly.
Luckily, we were in the garage and we saw it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jim said early Rivian buyers could probably flip their car in a week or two for 10 to 20K profit. Kind of like what people are doing with Model X's right now.
It's
I
amazing.
mean, I even see Model S long ranges being sold for 20 plus K.
Yeah,
It's wild.
I don't blame him. If you get a car and you don't need
Yeah.
it anymore, I have no problem with you reselling it and making money on that. And again, I can't believe that some people would disallow that.
I mean,
If you put in your order and you bought it fair and square,
Yeah.
you should be allowed to sell it.
And see, that's the thing is I don't like all these other car manufacturers, or like what Ford was potentially doing is making anyone who wanted to buy the truck sign a thing saying you won't sell it for a year or two.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that because I don't know, God forbid, what if I lose my job next week? I might have to sell that.
Or just financial situation changes.
Exactly.
You might need to do that. But we have heard that even Tesla's talk. People have talked about how they've been banned from Tesla after taking delivery of a car and then immediately reselling it. But I think that people should be allowed.
So the people that were doing that though,
But, like,
I think it was multiples very quickly, and they were literally selling it like the same day.
Also, we've seen a lot of people though who go and try to buy like reservations of people who did
Yes.
put in their order and then they change their mind. And these people are going around trying to get as many reservations as they can and resell those. And that's not quite the same situation as
You just gotta
somebody
be careful,
who
for
buys
sure.
the car and needs to sell it.
Yep, definitely. Chris said, got a 2022 Model 3 SR Plus, and I'm happy with it, other than no AMD chip, but might swap it with a Model Y long range order coming in 2 months. Don't need the extra space, never been in a Y. Is it worth the 16K difference? Well, I mean, your Model 3 SR Plus, you can probably get pretty good value for that if it's still, it's a 2022. So you can probably make a pretty decent chunk of change on that.
If he doesn't need the range, I
Yeah.
guess, I don't know, the range would be better on the Y if he's only got an SR Plus there.
Yeah.
It definitely would have more room, but if he doesn't need the room, I don't know. If
I
it's-
still think the Y is the best overall Tesla because it's a higher ride height, so it's easier to get in and out of the vehicle.
compared to the 3.
Yep. It's going to have more range than the SR Plus. You'll have the AMD chip, so if you want to do more things on that computer, you certainly can. It's got more storage because it's a hatchback instead of a trunk.
Definitely like that. I wish they had a hatch on the 3. Then that would change my mind. But yeah, the 3 just didn't work for me. It was an amazing car when we saw it unveiled back in 2016. But when I saw the trunk, it's like, I've never owned a car with a trunk. I've always had like a hatch because it just allows a lot more flexibility. It fits my lifestyle a lot more.
Yeah.
But
So-
it's still a good car. But I don't know. If you don't need to upgrade, I don't know. You'd have to look at the taxes and stuff like that and see, if it's worth it.
Definitely. Chris Bates said BMW called and they have an iX in town.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
I don't
to
even
see.
know if I know what that looks like.
Is that the one with the? I think that's the one with the giant grill that we saw. It was spotted at the Electrify America.
Pass.
Remember, Doug sent us some pictures.
Pass.
And it's maybe okay, but that grill.
Pass.
If that's what I'm thinking of, the grill on the front looks hideous.
Pass.
Yeah, is that the?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
hideous. Sorry.
He's like Bugs Bunny or something like. Oh yeah, look, Bugs Bunny. Check it out.
I am not driving that. Sorry, not sorry.
Why does it need a grill that big?
It doesn't need any of that.
It
That's the
doesn't.
thing is like, if you really look at the grill, it's all just like one solid. No.
It's just like old designers
honey,
are just
no.
doing the thing the way they've done it for 100 years. It's like, you don't need that.
Yeah.
And I know that's maybe the signature trademark for BMW, but it doesn't need to be that big.
Let's get a new signature trademark BMW, one that doesn't remind me of Bugs Bunny. I guess, I mean, if people like it, go for it. I'm not a huge fan of that at all. I don't like it. I'm still looking at it and it's terrifying me. John said if I get an electric pickup truck, I would want to get the F-150 Lightning. It wasn't bad when we were in it. The one we were in, though, was a pre-production, so it was pretty beat up on the inside.
I was surprised. I mean, we got to go on this. It was back on September 20th. I remember. It was September 20th of last year. We got to go to the Ford event here in the Denver area, and basically we got to learn all about it. Then we got to go on a little test drive, and it launched fine. It was nice and quiet. It had some power, and the guy was. We didn't get to drive it ourselves, but they took it out on a track, and we're doing kind of some obstacles and stuff like that. It was neat. But as Eric said, these were like pre-production cars, and they had been around. And the interior, I thought it was supposed to be like camouflage color. Then I realized, no, the paint's just worn off already.
It was just really
worn down from so many people that sat in that. And I was like, wow, I hope those aren't the final production materials they're going to use, because these vehicles are only a few months old and already they look like they were like 25 years old on the inside. So hopefully they were just not final production parts, but it was, a nice vehicle. And we were trying to get some questions about like the ability to connect to your house and stuff like that, but the people working there didn't necessarily have all the answers. But it is a neat function that it will be able to kind of act as a power wall and perhaps power your house, but you're going to need like several $1,000s more of additional equipment, which they don't tell you about. It's in fine print. Read the asterisk in the fine print, and it tells you that you're going to have like a transfer switch and other hardware installed if you do want to power your house with those. But it's nice to have that functionality. Hopefully the Cybertruck will have that. But as we know, Tesla has a Powerwall, so maybe they'll still try to push the Powerwall, but it'd be nice if they did have some functionality with like a gateway, so people who have a Cybertruck could plug in or connect to the gateway and then power their house that way.
So technically, since we have a Powerwall gateway, how could we do it?
Yeah, the problem is though with us is like they're like 100 feet apart from the garage,
that's what I was thinking.
and they'd have to run even more wiring. So I don't see that happening anytime soon. One thing that was cool though about the EV6 that we haven't really mentioned is that it did have the ability to like reverse power.
Yep.
And I think you could like charge another car with it like that way. So that was a cool feature. It'd be nice if
it
Tesla-
definitely had some pros over Tesla. Don't get me wrong.
And it had a heads-up display, and it did have a nice like infotainment center. It's not nearly as good as Tesla's. It didn't have like infotainment, like it didn't have the theater and all that stuff and all the.
But
games.
at least it was responsive.
It was responsive. Oh, that's one thing. When you were talking about the Y with the Ryzen chip, I was amazed when Dan was here and we just threw in a destination. We said try Chicago, and it instantly calculated all of the superchargers along the way. Because for those of you who might have been around a while, it used to be when you would say, navigate to Chicago or something, you could sit there for 30 seconds or a minute and spinning trying to calculate it out. This was just like instantaneous. And so it's amazing how much faster it is with that chip.
Yeah, they really have done a lot of really good updates. I've been really happy with it. We just need you to drive the Refresh S a little bit more so that you can get used to it.
I drove it yesterday. So it is my car, and for those who don't know, I've had this car since December. I've probably only driven it 3 times since December.
So I'm his full self-driving.
There you go. I didn't have to buy full self-driving. I've got Eric here. But basically, I work from home now. So we bought the car, and we're trying to. Eric's waiting for the Model X to arrive. He's chosen. He's driving that one. Makes sense to drive that one.
Yeah.
And we still have like only 1,600 miles on it since December. But I have only driven it like 3 times because I don't need.
And one of them was to Home Depot. Does that even count? Because it's like...
Not really. And I don't even remember the second drive, so it must have been pretty short, too. So, and I drove it home, which was a one-way trip, like 11 miles or something. So I've probably...
And that we actually have on video.
Yeah, I've probably driven like 25 miles, maybe 30. So, yeah.
out of the 1600.
Yeah.
Eventually, we'll get him to drive it a lot more because
Yeah,
I
well,
think
once
there's
the
a
X is
lot
here,
of.
once the X is here, that
Yeah.
will be my car, and then I won't have to be. I've borrowed my mom's car a couple times. My mom's given me a few rides. When I go to the dentist.
So
I
wait,
say
is she your full self-driving as
She
well?
also helps with the full self-driving, but I've had to like go, and it's like my mom drove me. Yeah. Soon I will have the car all to myself.
We are going from a 4-car household down to a 2, and it's been a little interesting. But
Yeah, and then
eventually
back
we'll
up-
have that X
But we'll be back up. Yeah.
to 3, so maybe 4. Wait, what? Secrets. Maybe we'll see.
Gonna have to clean out the garage though if we're gonna have 4.
Yep. Jim said, my dad is a law professor. My understanding is that under U.S. Uniform Commercial Code, Rivian cannot legally prevent the resale flip of a product unless they are financing for it.
Okay, yeah, and
Check
that kind of
a
makes
lawyer.
sense.
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense if they're involved that way. And same with the other companies, I would say so if you pay cash or if you finance it elsewhere, they wouldn't have any say in it.
Yep.
Speaking of legal stuff, did you want to mention anything?
So that's what I was. It was a great segue, Jim. Thank you. I just want to say this. I am not affiliated with any solar company. I mean, that even technically goes for Tesla right now. I have worked with them in the past. There might be work in the future.
We do have Tesla Solar. We have Powerwalls. We love them.
But there have been yet another round of companies using our images, our video, our faces in their solar ads. Please do not click on those.
Or if-
I'm not affiliated. If you see them, if you can screenshot them and send them to me, either Twitter, Instagram, email, whatever, that would be super helpful. Unfortunately, we have had to get attorneys involved once again.
Yeah, so this has happened like last
yes,
summer or
last year.
last spring. We went through this with another company and almost went to court with them because of that. But we were able to come to an agreement. But now another company has now stolen our work, and it makes it look like we're endorsing them, and we are not. So don't be
Yes.
tempted. Don't believe that we are supporting them.
Yes, if you ever have a question on if we are affiliated with somebody, please reach out. I'm more than happy to answer those questions. I don't know the company, and I don't want one of my viewers recognizing us and being like, hey, they're endorsing them, they must be okay, when there's someone I haven't vetted. So just
Yep.
be careful. It's funny, we were watching Shark Tank last night, and we saw they had like a spiel about how companies are using the Shark Tank logo and everything
Saying it's a product, yeah,
to make
Shark
you
Tank.
think that they're affiliated and from it, but they're really not. And it was just funny because we both looked at each other and we're like, wait, that's like what we have to do now. So just be careful. If there's any question on if I'm affiliated with somebody, please reach out. I don't want to see anyone get scammed by them. I don't know if they're scammers. Maybe they are. Maybe they're not. But I don't know. And we are not affiliated with them. So just please be careful. If you see it, just let me know. And I will forward that along to my attorney.
Yes.
Attorneys are expensive. Let me tell you guys. Holy crap. I think I chose the wrong field. But yes, just want to give the little PSA real quick. Unfortunately,
Or
it's...
DSA, it's a Derek service announcement.
Oh, Derek service announcement. I should get a new
Yeah.
intro made.
Breaking news.
But yeah, just be careful. That's all I really want to say is just be careful. Because I don't want any of you getting taken for anything.
There was another $5 super chat from John Check.
From
I don't know
John.
if you saw it. Yeah.
Said, do you get to use your supercharging miles on your new vehicles or just the vehicles prior? So the free supercharger miles from referrals are actually tied to your account. So any vehicle on your account can use those. And we've used them several times. I mean, lately we really haven't supercharged
We haven't done any road trips in my car. And
Yeah.
the Plaid, where do we go? Seems like, I don't know.
We dropped off some snakes in Kansas.
Oh, yeah. So we did go to
Does that really count as a road trip?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, it was a full day.
It was snakes. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But the last real road trip I would say we did is when I picked up the Model Y from T Sportline and drove it out, picked you up in Moab. But once we get the Model X, that's our goal.
Yeah.
We're gonna be doing a lot of road trips, a lot of videos on that.
Yeah,
It should
and
be
the
a lot of
miles
fun.
do work, like Yerk said, they're on the account. And for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, when Tesla had the referral program, you could accumulate miles, like 1,000 miles per referral that you got, and those would last for like 6 months or a year, and if you got more referrals, it would keep extending those. We do still have a bunch of supercharger miles on our account. They're good through, I think, April of next year for us. Other people's maybe expire sooner, but we're looking for those. We should be able to use those miles through
Not all of
April.
them, 'cause we're
Not all of them, but we should be able to
Yeah.
use what we've got through April next year. And again, we don't typically supercharge recently because we haven't done any road trips. We charge from home with our solar panels
And Powerwalls.
and Powerwalls. Yeah.
So, I mean, we're definitely trying to just be self-sufficient as possible. I mean, really, the only reason we use superchargers is kind of like if we need it around town, very rarely, or if we're on a road trip. Let's see. Chris, the local Chris, said, I've taken both my Danes across country in my Model 3, so the S will be like having a limo.
Oh wow.
Remember the photo I showed you?
Yeah.
That photo was epic, Chris. If you post that on Twitter, definitely like tag me in it, and I want to repost that so everyone else can see it, because I was thoroughly impressed. You fit 2 Great Danes in a Model 3. That right there is a feat of its own. Kevin is here. Said, have you used FSD to go to Estes Park or taken it on a curvy mountain road? No,
Not recently.
Not recently.
But we should go try the road there and head up the canyon.
Oh,
here.
yeah.
We did this. So basically, when full self-driving first came out, let's say Autopilot 2 came out at the end of 2016. There was no functional autopilot on that vehicle. Later in 2017, we tried taking it up the canyon, and this road has, I don't know, is it 20 something curves, like, back and forth.
Yeah, very
after
curvy.
like 2, we gave up and said no. But then we tested that again, in 2019, and it worked for all but like one of those when we had
Yep.
to take over. So I'm pretty sure that it would work now, but that would be something to test out like full self-driving on and see how well it does. The only thing is we got to choose like the right day and time because there are a lot of cyclists on that road.
Yeah, definitely.
And we definitely wouldn't want to, have to take over if there's a cyclist there. I'm sure it would notify us because we actually got some beeping on the car today when we were out driving and there was like 3 cyclists on the way to my mom.
Yeah.
But we should try that again sometime.
Definitely.
But it has come a long way in the past 5 years.
Yeah. This past like couple weeks have been really weird because we've been getting a ton of snow here in Colorado.
Yeah,
Which is great. We need the water, but it's really hard to do much filming and everything when we have all this snow.
Yeah, and we didn't have a solar update just because we have had some good days with solar, but we also have had some days where the panels were covered. I had to get out the roof rake, and I'm able again to clean off some of the panels, and that does allow us to, if I can just clear off like 6, or I can clear off between like 6 or 14 panels, that's more than enough to power the house and start charging the Powerwall back up. But it does take another day or so for the rest of those panels to clear off unless we get some really good sun or really good wind.
Yeah. Let's see. A couple people chimed in with the price of the key fobs. Now they are $175, but like a year or so ago,
They used to be
they used
like-
to be $150.
Oh really?
So they
I
increased a
thought
little
they
bit.
had. I thought because at one time they were like in the 200s, so they must have gone down
yeah.
and gone down and gone back up.
Yep. And then Ken's 300 said, does the new Model X use a phone as key? Yes, thank God for that, because like I got used to carrying a key fob around with the old Model S, and then when we got the 3s and the Ys, I never used it, and I don't even carry keys around.
Yeah.
All I literally carry is my phone and my wallet. That's it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I even forget my wallet. So the nice thing is yes, it does have phone as key, and it's so
So
nice.
it's still, so as phone as key, it does still come with 2 key fobs. So make sure
And
you get
2
those
key cards.
and 2 key cards. And so,
So,
there's multiple ways that you can control it. And even if you don't have phone as key, you can still control the car. That way, it's just a little manual. You have to go and say start. But there's
Yep.
multiple ways of controlling it and starting it and driving it.
Yeah. Chris Bates said, "Raise your hand if your name is Chris." LOL.
Yeah, I
we
saw
had that
that.
conversation earlier too when
Oh,
Dan was
Dan.
here.
Like,
we were going off and we were just like, "Oh, is it that Dan? Is it this Dan? Or is it that Dan?" Or
We know several
we were just like
Dans.
going down the list of all the Dans we know. It was kind of funny, and we know a ton of Chris's too.
We do, because whenever you say Chris, because we know Chris up in Michigan.
My dad,
Oh yeah, there's one right there.
like there's a couple Chris's in town. There's Chris Bates.
Very
Chris
nice name.
Howard is the one in town. There's a lot of Chris's as well. Wow. Yeah, there's a lot. Let's see. Cham said Model 3 is your sporty spice, all me. Model Y is your MacGyver, do it all.
Yep.
I think that's a good way to put it. The Model 3 is just so responsive and so whippy.
And that's what we like to say too. Each model has its target audience.
Oh, 100%.
And, you know, so like definitely the Model 3 is the cheapest version and the smallest. So if you do need to, you know, park it on the street or something like that, or if you don't need a larger car, definitely the way to go. If you want a little more room, the Model Y. If you want, you know, the longest range, maybe the Model S. If you want the quickest acceleration, stuff like that, still the Plaid S. If you want the largest with the most seating, most comfortable seating, I would go the Model X. They do have the 7-seater Y, but it's going to be pretty crowded compared to the seven-seater Model X.
Yep. So I'm still catching up on comments from when we were talking about the BMW, and a bunch of people said the beaver teeth.
Yeah.
And that's what Tesla Bjorn calls it. It's a beaver.
Yeah.
I definitely see that too, but every time I see it now, though, I posted a picture one time with
Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny, and that's all I see now.
It is nice that there are new options because a couple years ago.
Options are great because that helps with competition and that helps everybody improve at a much faster rate. But I just don't like that design for me.
No.
So, Robert said, anyone else having significant phantom drain as your battery ages? 4 years and 60,000 miles, losing 5% overnight. All the extra stuff is turned off to limit drain. Maybe it's something to do with aging. I haven't heard that. Are you like signed into any of those like
third-party
apps by chance?
And,
Because that could be it as well. Some of those aren't very well optimized and will keep your car awake using a ton. But 5% is too much.
And I also wonder too,
Definitely.
I don't know, have you ever had your 12-volt battery replaced? Because I've heard that if the 12-volt battery is starting to go out, then your car has to keep
Interesting. Okay.
charging it back up. And then if that drains down, then so that may keep waking the car up. So if there's something, or if you have Sentry mode on, well, he says he has it turned off, so maybe it's not that. But if you continue to see the issue, you might put in a service call to Tesla and see if they can check the log and see if your car is sleeping or not. Because if it's not getting sleep, then that's going to cause it to use more energy.
Yeah. Definitely ask service to look into it though, because 5% is too much.
We still have a car. The S100D actually turns 5 this month.
Oh wow!
And it's got just over 60,000 miles, and it still has a top range of like over 300, and it's close to 320 something I think. But we're not seeing any problem with drain like that on ours, and it's 5 years old. So let me check and see what the max range is on the S. But you can move on, and I'll figure that out.
Well, Martin said hello from Germany. Hello, Martin. We have some exciting Germany news. Maybe in
a few months.
In a few months.
But hello.
Yes.
Guten Nacht. Guten Morgen.
Chris said, Chris Bates. I guess I should start saying last names on some of our popular named friends. Chris Bates said, I drove a Mini ES and it's a lot of fun. Low range, but for a second car, Model Y companion, it's very cheap. I'll have to look into that. So the cool thing about small cars, and I imagine the Mini is very similar to kind of the 3, is you can whip those things around so much. It's so much fun. So I'll have to look into that.
And typically, too, since it is smaller, it would have a lower energy consumption.
True.
But it is amazing how the Y is larger and it only uses like slightly more.
Yeah, very little.
And depending on your speed, too, that you might be able to do the same in the Model Y as the 3. Even in my Model S, when I used to drive to work, I would sometimes average less than 200 watt hours per mile, just because the speed was just right. It was supposed to be on a highway with 65 miles, but if traffic and stuff, I was maybe going close to 50. But it was like, less than 200, which is unheard of for a vehicle that size.
Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. Were you able to find out what the max is?
Looks like it's just shy of 320, so it's down slightly. But we haven't been charging up. We should probably bump it up all the way and see if
balance
to balance if it is balanced. But also, it's been colder, and we know that the max range does appear lower when the weather's cold, and we've had some really cold temperatures the last couple of months. So we should probably bump it up here in the next week or so and try to rebalance it and see what the full pack will say. But still, it was like 335 or something when new, and when we're still only down like 15 miles, if that, after over 5 years. So that's pretty good. Very little battery degradation there.
Definitely. Sorry, I'm like 20 minutes behind on comments, so we'll speed round a few. But real quick, Brian with the $2 super chat, thank you very much, said, heard of older Model S's getting the new dash and screen. So I have looked at it pretty extensively, and by extensively, I took apart the entire dash. I don't see any way it's
Wait,
possible,
the
unfortunately.
new horizontal one?
Yeah.
Oh, you'd have to take out everything.
I think you'd even have to re-weld stuff in.
I don't see
because
that,
the mounting
but also-
points are
but,
different.
Like the HVAC, everything. You'd have to redo the.
So much of it's changed. I don't think.
I mean, if somebody.
To be honest, if I was to do that for somebody, I would tell them it's probably going to be cheaper to buy a new car.
Yeah, it's going to be.
It's a lot
multiple
of time,
thousands.
yeah.
I mean, I
No,
don't know,
tens.
10,000, 20,000, because you're gonna have to take all that, redo everything. But the HVAC, I'm sure some people could do it, especially like Rich Rebuilds or somebody like that.
I mean,
but
to be
it's not gonna be
honest-
worth it. I don't.
Yeah,
think.
to be honest, I think I could do it. The only thing is I'd have to figure out the screen because the connectors are going to be different because previously the screen was built into the or the MCU,
Yeah.
and now it's separate. So I don't even know how that would work. To be honest, I honestly would say it's probably cheaper to get a new car. Which is a bummer because trust me, I love retrofitting things. I love all that. It's just in terms of work and the potential of it not working properly, just very high.
No, it is possible, as we've talked about in the past, to upgrade the MCU from MCU 1 to MCU 2.
True.
But I haven't heard of any MCU 2 to MCU 3 upgrade.
Yeah.
And this would be something, those, as we've seen, in like the Model 3 where you put in the tilt for my mom. It's like, well, somebody could theoretically come out with something to tilt that, but that would be, again, maybe not tens of thousands, but it's not going to be cheap if you try to take the existing screen. But the problem is the software is not going to be
Exactly.
there.
It's not going to switch it to
rotate
landscape.
It's
So it'd
that's
look
something
hideous.
on the Tesla side on software.
Yeah.
And so even you put there and rotate, it's not going to auto rotate like your phone does when you do that. And there's one car, what is it, Lucid, or is it Lucid that's coming out with, they have that in their commercials where you can rotate the screen?
I can't remember.
One of them has that where it's like vertical or landscape.
Yeah, I can't quite remember. Amy said, I had a fob for my Escape. Don't miss having keys in my pocket. Amen to that.
Yeah,
I don't carry keys around anymore.
I
I
haven't
just
carried
don't.
keys in probably, I don't drive in the last 2 years. But before that, I
really-
only had the fob.
Yeah, I mean, we don't do keys for the house because everything's fingerprint. Everything at my office, I have a little key card that I just attach on my pants. So, it's like, yeah, I don't really do any of that. Watt said absolutely hated the iX originally. However, it's grown on me quite a bit.
Yeah, and I haven't
Yeah.
seen the inside. I guess we should check
That's
it out
true. I
sometime.
haven't seen the inside. I've been judging from the exterior. I should not have done that. I will definitely look into it. Abstract Ocean was in chat. Thank you to our channel sponsor. They had to jump for dinner, but huge shout out to them.
Did you see the
love
super
you.
chat from Pierre?
Yep, just came through.
Okay.
Pierre, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that. Said, in regards to my tweet I sent you, I have to wait for a software update to remove the FSD beta unless I decide to subscribe again. Wait, really?
I thought you could just like opt out, and wouldn't it go away or not?
So he, correct me if I'm wrong, Pierre. I believe he was doing the subscription. It ended, and now he has no even autopilot now.
Oh, that's
until
crazy.
he gets a software update. He can't even enable autopilot.
That's crazy because I think you would be able to go in there and like re-enable it,
I know.
like go into the settings. Yeah, we
So
haven't.
this is gonna sound stupid, and there's gonna be a total IT move. Did
Yeah,
you double scroll wheel
Yeah,
reset?
try rebooting the car and see if that helps.
Which is a total IT move. Did you try
Okay.
restarting your computer? But still.
Jay the dev pointed out it's Fisker, not Lucid, that has the pivoting screen.
Fisker.
So I have seen their like videos, and so
To
that's
be honest, I don't know how I feel about Fisker.
yeah.
I don't know how I feel.
And we're still waiting to
Last
see.
time Fisker happened, it didn't.
Yeah, and we're still waiting to see what the Karma, whatever their EV is going to be called. Because remember,
Yeah.
we got to go in their hybrid one, which was a
Yup.
pretty slick car, very sexy looking, but it was still like a plug-in hybrid, and so it had very limited battery range. But they are coming out with a full electric one, so it'd be nice to see that one.
Yeah. Tim said Cybertruck and Rivian are prohibited on New York and Long Island parkways. They would have to be registered as commercial vehicles because they weigh too much by New York DOT.
Oh, wow.
Plus added registration fees too.
Oh no.
So what the heck is this Hummer EV doing? Because that thing weighs 10,000 pounds.
I guess they'd have to
Which
pay
is
those
straight up
extra ones
stupid.
too.
I won't go down in that tangent. But that's straight up, I don't know. I don't like the Hummer
Yeah.
EV.
Oh, I see Roger mentioned the Fisker too, so yeah, thanks for correcting me on
yep.
that.
I'm still like 20 minutes behind. Lol.
Okay, so we're at 7.
Let's see. I'm just trying to go through and see if there's anything I haven't answered yet. Let's see. Not EV related, but Tom Brady is back. I don't know who that is. Congratulations.
He's, I think, a quarterback.
But they said he drives a Tesla. Okay.
Oh.
So maybe I should
Best
know who he is. I don't really follow sports. Sorry. But I guess he's a quarterback. Thank you for that.
I see Roger was talking about gas price in Norway is like 27 kroner, which is about 10.20 per gallon.
And isn't it per quart? The price out there?
Liter.
Or liter. Oh,
Yeah.
right. Duh.
So, but equivalent to that $10
I can't believe I said that.
a gallon. But
Yeah.
that's one thing we didn't really talk about. But
True.
a lot of people are complaining about the price of gas. Guess what? We're not. We haven't bought gas. Next month it will have been 5 years since I bought gas, and we're coming up on almost 6 years since Eric here bought gas.
Yeah.
It could have been even less than that or longer for me, but I kept my gas car for like another few months after I bought my Tesla. But other than that, I have not bought gas. We don't care about the price of gas. We do feel sorry, I guess, for them who are affected by it. But, you know, we saw the light years ago. The EV is definitely the way to go. And then you're not going to be subjected to these price swings because the price of electricity, you know, at your residential electricity, it does not go up and down like that. You know, the electric company can always raise rates, but that's going to be something that you're going to know about like months or years in advance. And there's ways you can lower it if you can put in solar or buy into community solar. And so our cars are almost totally powered via solar. And we haven't had really an electric bill in over 3 years. So definitely, you know,
Definitely worthwhile.
it's possible to avoid these gas price swings. You just have to be willing to invest in electric vehicles.
But yeah, and like solar and everything helps out too. But the nice thing is you can like rent or lease solar.
Yep.
And it tends to be a very similar price point to what you're paying now.
Yeah. And another thing too, it's nice too. There are some of these vehicles, plug-in hybrids coming out. To me, originally before Tesla, I was looking to a plug-in hybrid, but none of them really had a huge range. But if you need like less than 30 miles per day for your commute, then a plug-in hybrid might be something for you to consider because that would allow you to maybe drive your entire commute, you know, daily commute via electricity, and then you would only need gas if you're going on a longer trip, such as a road trip. So it definitely could keep, reduce your gas bill that way.
Definitely. Model 3 dude was in chat. Hopefully you're still here. Sorry, I'm like really late on comments. He said, as always, is there any Cybertruck news?
Not this week. I didn't hear anything.
Didn't hear anything, which is weird and highly bummer, but yeah, I didn't hear anything. Let's see. Amlet said, I wonder if Tesla would allow people to buy supercharger miles as gifts towards Tesla owners, like a family member buying 500 miles for somebody else's road trip. I love that idea.
Like, yeah, or even
love it.
less, like a gift certificate, because it's kind of like
so they have gift certificates in the online store, but I don't think you can use that for supercharger miles.
we should like tweet Elon about that, because that would be great.
I have some people, I'll send an email later. I love that idea.
You know, if you know somebody who just bought a Tesla, it'd be nice, but you don't know what they want for like accessories, it's like, well, give them some supercharging miles. That would be a great idea.
I absolutely do love that. I'll definitely send out some emails later.
There's ways you could kind of do that, but you could give them like a prepaid gift card, but then they'd have to put it on their account, so that's not as easy. I think they should definitely do that through Tesla and let you buy a certain number of miles or a credit. You know?
No, I really, that's a great idea actually. 10 out of 10 would recommend. I'll send that out. Somebody was asking, I think it was John, how do you sign up for the prepaid internet for 12 months? I haven't seen anything yet on my account. So I think you have to do it on your phone. And I was just verifying it.
Upgrades.
Yeah, under software upgrades.
I thought somebody mentioned.
Oh, but we don't have any cars that do that right now.
We still have the free. I think though you can do it in advance, but it will say it will start like when you know like.
Oh, so under your upgrades tab, you can see here we have full self-driving and we have premium connectivity. Now, if I click on add under premium connectivity, said starting at $9.99 a month, make sure my credit card's not showing. It shows that $9.99 a month or $99 annual. So you can just select that and then hit next and then you can pay. But that's a great option because it's kind of hidden. It looks like you're trying to do the monthly, not the yearly. So good call.
I saw Mark here, he's talking to Brian. He says, I have the sunroof and free supercharging on his 2017 100D. No chance whatsoever he'll be parting with it. We know exactly how you
We
feel
know the
there.
feeling.
We have an S100D with a sunroof and free supercharging, and it is still in the family. We have it upstairs in the garage, and like I said, going
You
on
just say
5
upstairs in the garage?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
upstairs
okay.
in the garage.
At first I was like, wait, we parked it up top? That's cool.
We have a 2-story garage, but I'm saying it is upstairs in the garage, not upstairs in the garage. Okay, I see what you're saying. So anyway,
At first I was like, oh wait,
it's
that's
still
a good idea.
It's still a great deal, and definitely a way we could travel the country for free with those unlimited supercharging. And they do still have some cars for those of you interested. They do still have cars, 2016 vehicles. If you buy them directly from the owner who currently has free supercharging, then you can transfer the supercharging on those 2016 cars. Even a few select 2017 vehicles can get those transferred. So then you would never have to pay for supercharging.
Yeah. Real quick, Pierre, thank you for another $5 super chat. Really appreciate it. It said, I did every reset possible, even disconnecting both batteries. After recalibrating the cameras, my visualization screen still shows nothing but my car. So I don't remember, but I would I think you said you contacted service, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
If you haven't yet, I would contact them and just be like, can you push a new update? Because I no longer am a subscriber to this, and I can't even use autopilot.
And they can definitely there's an option under the service for
it's there.
software, and you can tell them, hey, I lost my autopilot, and they can send that out to you
Yeah.
within hours. You can have that reinstalled. It's, in the past, when sometimes we had a vehicle that went like 2 months without getting an upgrade, we sent out a service call, and we would get an update just like that. So definitely it's something you can request.
Yep. Amy said, I would be interested on how 2 Great Danes fit in a Model 3. I couldn't fit Roger in a Model 3 without some serious seat adjustment. With, by the way, Amy and Roger, ow, sorry, my neck. I still love it. I use it almost every night.
This is a flashlight, not a lighter.
It's a flat. It looks like a giant Zippo, but it's just a flashlight. Again,
It's a
not
rechargeable,
sponsored,
yeah.
but Amy or Roger and Amy, they sent it to me, and I love it. And it's rechargeable. How awesome is that?
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, sorry, side tangent. Let's see. Gringo Show Dan said he found the Tough Pro floor mats for 2022 Model X. Awesome.
So I think that's what you said that you got while we're waiting for ours, and while we're waiting for other manufacturers to come out with those. That's what we're doing right now.
Yep. Got some fun stuff coming for X. Diego said, what kilowatt solar panels do you guys have? Is it different in charging speeds to the house or going out? Sorry, I don't know much about solar.
Yeah, currently we have like 20.5 kilowatts, right, of solar.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think. Our panels, since we got those installed, some of them 2018, some in 2019, they're like 325 watts per panel. So I think we have like 61 panels. And basically, at the peak in the summer, on the perfect summer day in June at noon, solar noon, whatever, we can get close to 20. Actually, we've actually seen over 20.5.
Yeah.
So, because we have enough inverters on our system, and we're higher elevation, a little cooler, that we're actually able to generate more than 20.5 kilowatts at once, even though that's higher than what our system is rated for. And as those age, that peak number might be reduced. But in the winter, when it's shorter days and the sun's lower in the sky, we don't get that. We might only hit 10 or 12 kilowatts at peak, but definitely it's amazing how much energy we can generate in June. But as for how fast it can charge the cars, it depends on what you have the car set to, because you can set them, for anywhere from like 15 amps up to 48 amps on most current Teslas, and our system is set up so we can charge the cars at that, we can charge multiple cars at that amount if you have enough solar. If you don't have enough solar, you can, still charge them. You need, I don't know, I'd have to do the math, but you don't need 20 kilowatts. You could probably charge your car with 10 kilowatt system and then send that to power both your house and your cars if you wanted.
Yeah. Real quick, Chris posted the photo of the Great Danes in the Model 3 on Twitter. Oh. So I went ahead and retweeted it, and you can see it. They fit.
Oh, yeah, wow.
It's very impressive. I never would have guessed it.
Very cozy.
So, yeah, maybe we just need to cram Roger in the Model 3 just a little bit more. Let's see, where were we at? Minnesota, from John, said Minnesota gives $250 for easy pass lane for electric vehicles. Found out from a friend of mine, signed up. You can buy the pass to skip traffic. That's awesome. They don't do that here. EVs don't get any discount.
Yeah, that would be nice. I know that because California had that for years, and
Yeah.
and some other
But California
states
doesn't do that anymore, do they?
I don't
don't
know.
think
I know
so.
they still have like a different color. They've changed
Okay.
it a couple times. I don't know if it's the red sticker now, but they still have some good perks for EVs. And other countries like Norway, we know has some really good ones.
Oh,
like
yeah.
free parking and free ferries and stuff like
Doesn't
that.
Iceland too?
I don't.
I
Oh,
think
they were
Iceland
talking
had
about that.
something.
I remember. Yeah, when we were parking, they were saying that you could park in certain places, city parking for free. But yeah, we don't really have any perks like that in Colorado, unfortunately. But we still appreciate EVs.
Yep. Let's see. Ken's 300 said 5, 6, or 7 seat Model X. Pros and cons. Okay. Pros and cons to a 5 and 7 seater is you can fold the middle row down, so you can fit a lot more. Con to a 5-seater, you don't get air conditioning vents for the third
Yeah, like
row.
the second air compressor. or
So
whatever. Yeah.
if you have dogs in the very back or whatever, they don't have their own air vents, which is kind of a bummer. So con to a 6-seater, the middle row angles forward, but it doesn't fold flat. Huge con in my opinion.
Yeah. We've been wondering.
Con to a 7-seater, there's not a lot of room in the back.
Yeah, and especially it's claustrophobic in that
Yes.
third row because since
Yep.
there's a bench seat in front of you, you have to be really small or have short legs, and then it's kind of claustrophobic because
It's
you
very
can't
tight.
really get out, or you have to wait for the second row people to get out. Whereas in a 6-seater, you have kind of like the center aisle where you could easily go that way, or you can tilt the seats forward to get out.
Yeah.
But I think, like Eric said, we had a 6-seater back in 2019, and we
Yeah.
ordered a 6-seater again. It's best overall for us because it does give you some more cargo room, but also more people room.
Yep. And we have a lot of fun things coming with our 6-seater that a lot of people probably would never guess that we're going to do to it, and I'm excited for that. David said, David, I did finally take delivery of my Model Y that I used your referral code a year ago last March.
Congratulations and
Took
thank you.
delivery at the end of January. No free miles of supercharging, but they honored the price.
That's good. I would check about that because I would heard people
I've
taking
heard-
delivery were
yeah.
still getting their miles, so I would just
Yeah.
kind of remind them about that. And I know they did stop the program, but all orders that had that referral code on there should still be getting those.
Yeah. But huge shout out. Thank you so much for using our referral code. Hope you love the vehicle. If you have any questions, definitely reach out. We're happy to help any way we can.
And I can't remember what our last one. I see we still have miles there, but I can't tell if the balance has changed recently because I haven't looked in there in a while.
Yeah, I haven't looked in a while.
But our miles do say they expire April 18th, 2023.
Okay, well, road trip, we's have to
Yeah,
go
I don't.
on.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I
There's
don't-
no way we're going to use all those.
Yeah, but we do have
No
some
way.
miles. Like,
White B68 said disconnect the Teslafy and all that stuff. Leave it plugged in. I have a 2018 X with 87,000 miles, Sentry mode turned on, and maybe drops 2 to 3% every night.
yeah, we don't see that.
There's definitely something pulling information, not letting the car go to sleep.
That's why I say, like, maybe it's a 12 volt, maybe it's something else. But, we're still on the original 12 volt battery for our
The
2017.
2017, yeah.
There was a time about, 2 years ago when I thought maybe it was only a year ago, I thought we might be having some problem, but it seemed to be just a software issue because it went away after about a month.
Yeah.
But I was seeing we could see during the day, I could see in our graph for our energy usage, I could see it going up like every 2 hours that the car was topping off the battery for some reason. But Tesla fixed that issue and we haven't seen it since.
Yeah. Josh Allen said, I placed a Plaid Plus order on the day they were announced, and today is the last day I can get a Plaid at the lower price. As in, my reservation will be canceled. What should I do?
Oh.
I mean, it's really up to you. Plaid is a lot of vehicle, and it comes at a $40,000 price increase for a little bit quicker speeds. To be honest, I love Plaid. I absolutely love the speed. But 99.99% of people will be more than happy with a
Yeah.
long range and have $40,000 still in their
Yeah,
pocket.
especially because the long range today is equivalent to like the performance vehicle
Previously.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
And so, people were paying that $40,000 extra for the performance. Now it's the standard vehicle. So, and again, it's more than enough for most people. And you can definitely, we accelerated onto the highway today, and there was no lack of power in that Model X.
Yeah. So I definitely, it's really up to you though. I mean,
If you have to
buying
have the
Plaid,
fastest,
but also if buying the Plaid, like if you can easily afford it, by all means.
Yeah.
it's an amazing car. You'll have a ton of
If you
fun
need
with
to
it.
have the quickest car out there, if you're going to take
Yeah.
it to the track, then maybe you want the Plaid. But
Yeah.
but if you want a little bit more range and
save 40 grand.
then the other one should be fine.
Yep. Wayne said, I got PPF on my Model Y a few days ago. On the front bumper and side mirrors, the front sensors, red and yellow visualizations don't appear when close to the same objects as before. Is that expected? No. So if there's any kind of water stuck between that sensor and the PPF, they won't work properly. One way to get around it is if they can't make them work, is they will just kind of cut around them. I don't really care for that option. Luckily, my guy is really keen on how to do it.
So I can't remember.
I don't
Is
have
it
any issues.
solid
It's
or
solid.
Okay.
But if they can't get it to work, they can always cut them out. Not ideal, but it'll work. Josh, by the way, said he already has a Raven S and a Rivian truck coming in the first half of 2023.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean,
Another thing too is he could get the Plaid and
get rid of the
and-
Raven.
and drive it. Yeah, and then if he's getting another one, Wait, he has a Raven.
He has a Raven Model S.
Oh, already. Yeah.
Yeah, and he has a Rivian truck coming next year.
Yeah. That's kind of tough because the Raven's already pretty nice and has that good range.
But
I
the
don't-
Raven doesn't have like the AMD.
Yeah, or the
The Raven
horizontal
doesn't have
screen
the
and stuff like that.
horizontal.
Yeah.
So there's still a lot that has changed. I would see what you can get for the Raven, to be honest, because if you can get a really good price on that, it might
Yeah.
make upgrading a little bit
and
easier.
that's kind of one reason why we did get the 2022 S is because it was really only like $20-something thousand for me to upgrade to that car, which yes, it's still $20,000, but I was able to. It was a good upgrade, I'll say.
Yeah. Oh, Diego said Tom Brady's the one that did the Hertz commercial. I didn't know that was Tom Brady.
Which Hertz commercial?
He did like the Hertz commercial.
When
with-
Tesla had the big
yeah,
announcement with
yeah.
that they were going to be selling all those tens of thousands of
mean,
cars. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that.
Sports
yeah.
ball.
Yeah.
Let's see. John's going on 2 years without buying gasoline. That's awesome.
Congratulations.
Mark said gas is about $8 per gallon in Australia.
Yikes! I have no idea how much it is here.
I don't either, to be honest. Yahtzee said it's basically $2 a liter in Canada for premium.
So that's more like $8 or something. Yeah.
Mark said Elon's tweeting about possibility of lowering safety score to 95 after the next FSD
Oh, that'd
update.
be nice.
That would be great because then Scott would qualify because Scott is currently at a 95.
Yeah, and the
I
S100D.
have been checking.
Yep.
Let's see. Jim said cheapest way to lower your electric bill for most folks is to get free energy audit and replace the leaky windows and doors.
Yeah, that's
That's a good point as
Yep.
well.
And we have upgraded a few of our windows and like our sliding glass door and
Yeah.
other things. So definitely we can tell.
We did it ourselves.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where is everything? Sorry, I'm just going through stuff, and a lot of this is stuff we had already talked about. So
Yeah,
I'm just
I was
making
kind of
sure I
jumping
don't.
ahead. I was ahead of you and kind of answered.
Oh, perfect. Brett asked, which Model X did we order? Do you want to answer that?
It was the 6-seater, just long range. We
And
did not
what
order
options?
It's like white on white, and we did not order the. We just got the regular 20-inch wheels. I don't remember what other options there were, because that was about it, right?
So we did white exterior,
White interior.
the white interior, the 20-inch wheels, the cheaper, the
Currently,
included
it does
ones.
have full self-driving on it. We don't know if we're gonna.
We
keep
need
that
to figure that
or go down to
out.
the subscription or what.
I do have a meeting with the accountant this week, so maybe we'll figure it out then. But we need to figure that out because it's also like, I guess we need to think long term what we want to keep.
Yep.
But anyway, it is locked in at a cheaper price, which is kind of nice.
Yes.
So we'll have to figure that out. Let's see. On said it's time to replace my cabin filters. Thought about getting HEPA filters, but they won't affect the efficiency of the vehicle. If the vehicle didn't originally come with them, no biodefense mode. So if your vehicle didn't come,
So probably the filters.
is he
you
gonna
put-
do the upgrade from Tesla?
I think that's no. I think he's talking
Or
about
just
those
the
ones
replacement
like
square
you did.
ones.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the replacement rectangle ones are great. If you can do the upgrade from Tesla, I don't know. I believe they're still offering that. Last I looked,
On
they
some
were.
vehicles, it's not on all
You could
vehicles.
potentially do that,
But
as
it won't
well.
affect. I don't think it will affect his efficiency.
No,
Like it's
not at
not,
all.
it's if it was, it'd be minute. Very microscopic change. So
Yeah, it would.
it's just
Yeah,
a
I
little
don't think
bit.
you would ever.
I
see
don't
anything.
think it's anything that. Yeah.
Yeah. Will said, any updates on the Model X deliveries? I'm sitting at a July date and ordered in March 2021. So some dates have been moved up to March. Ours was one of those.
Yeah.
We still don't have a VIN,
I
but
heard
we
a
are very
a
hopeful.
lot of people last week saw their July dates move up to March, and this is the first quarter, end of quarter rush. But then I heard of several people then saw their dates move from March back to July, and they were really disappointed to see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, ours is holding steady for the past week at coming March 17th through the 31st.
And I'm
But still no VIN. I just checked.
after today seeing Dan's Model X, I really want it.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've wanted it for like 400 and
I know,
something
but
days,
like I haven't really played around, and Dan even let me drive it.
Yeah. That was nice.
And I just want it so much. Yeah. Where are we now? Dan said I have a 2016 Model X P90D now with 200,000 miles
Wow.
and free power. Wanted to see
Yeah.
how much I'll have at its warranty end in 2 more years. That is impressive, Dan.
Wow, so you
Sorry,
must-
David Brown.
So he must have bought the extended warranty and stuff on that then.
Yep. That is very impressive, actually, to 200,000 miles
The
in
cool
a
thing is-
2016.
Yeah, the cool thing is like even on our, he'd still be able to travel for free like that for who knows how long.
Have you ever what percentage of that 200,000 miles has been superchargers, and like what calculation of savings
Yeah.
is that worth?
I know.
That would be interesting to do.
I know I've seen several people online who do take their cars like cross country all the time, and they're talking about saving thousands of dollars a year.
Wow.
So that adds up,
Love that.
And again, those cars did cost more, so maybe it was kind of baked into the price back then. But it's definitely a nice feature to have.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Where? Oh, I think the dogs. It's food time.
Yeah, it's time for them to eat. Oh wow, it's way past.
It's
time.
way
Sorry.
past their time.
Oh wow,
yes.
but they're getting eaten out.
John said in New Jersey, regular gas is $4.27 a gallon, and that's the cash price. So I guess I've never really paid attention. Do they have a cash price and a credit card price?
Some places, especially if you're on the highway or like in Nebraska stuff, I know that some states like that, they'll have the sign and it says, $3. But then when you get to the pump, it's really like $3.20, and that's the credit card. So they show the cash price to
Wow.
get you to stop,
Yeah.
and then you pull up to the pump. It's like it costs a lot more.
Deceiving.
So you gotta pay attention.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've paid cash for gas. Well, one, I haven't bought gas in over 5 years, but I don't think I paid cash for gas since probably like 1989 or something.
To
like
be
that.
honest, I'm trying to think of the last time I paid cash for anything.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
We have cash for the casino, and
'Cause
that's pretty much
that's
it.
about and then we usually bring that home, and then just keep using
but
the
like,
same money.
if it's friends, it's Zelle or PayPal.
Yeah, I'm
or
trying to think,
one of the others. If it's a
anything.
business transaction,
we get
I
miles.
just do wire
It's
transfers.
always miles on
like-
credit cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what I use cash for because
When's the last time somebody paid you in cash?
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's weird that they
Nobody
still
knows.
have cash prices.
Even the last few things I sold on like Craigslist and stuff, they Zelled me the money.
Yeah, because it's nice they can come right when they're like seeing the merchandise.
Yeah.
Someplace, and then they can just send it to you right away.
And it also takes the fear out of getting mugged.
Yep.
Kind of like.
A little bit.
I mean, you just gotta be careful. It is Craigslist. You gotta be careful. Amy said, important question. What's Scott making for dinner? Well,
Oh,
he
actually-
made the trip
To
to Blackjack for pizza. But he did make the trip.
Yeah. He was, I don't know, I think he's busy doing some work. Oh, yeah. He's making like a cake
He's
or
making-
something. A
yeah,
giant
a
like
cake.
sheet cake for
Yep.
work. And so he didn't have time to make dinner. So he went and picked up Blackjack pizza, which we haven't had in a while, but
It was
pretty good.
delicious.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where am I? Amy said would love leftovers at their house. Such a good cook. Well, I mean, tomorrow leftovers are pizza.
It's just cold pizza, but hey, it's still going to be good. But yeah, but
yeah, normally Scott-
some days are better than others, yeah.
Yep. Mark did clarify a 2022 Model S long range is not as quick as the 2020 Ludicrous.
Yeah, it's like because we have more
It's
like insane.
What, 0.2 seconds off or something?
So it's more like we have
A little
little
bit?
insane mode, not ludicrous mode.
that's
But
it, okay.
but it's still like from what they had like a couple years earlier when they
Yeah.
only had insane mode available.
He also did follow up with, but my 2017 100D is more than quick enough for me.
Oh yeah. I mean even
We actually had video, which you took video of that today, right?
Yeah. the
When
X.
I did kind of like a little quick acceleration of the Model X long range, and that thing has some pickup for being such a big vehicle.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
And it's amazing how quiet it is. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, you can hear a little bit of a whine from the motors, but it's still amazingly quiet because any ICE vehicle would be, very loud
Yeah.
at those speeds.
Go. Brett said, I have a 2016 Model S, had to change the 12-volt battery this year. I mean,
Well,
that's
yeah.
not too bad. What is it in a normal gasoline car?
It
you have to
depends.
change it?
It depends because I remember when I bought my last gas car, the first one lasted like 5 or 6 years. The
I
next one was
remember
like,
going with you to buy
yeah.
a battery for
then,
it.
Then a couple of them, they lasted like 4 years or 3 years. And then one time, I forgot something, came home, parked, and it was dead.
Yeah.
No indication, but luckily we were able to go and replace that ourselves. But it's pretty good that you can get 5, 6 years. But yeah, that's something that we might have to actually spend money on. So we've had these 14 Teslas over the last 6 years. We've only spent like $300 in outside of tires and wheels and upgrades.
Yeah.
For like fixing things, we've only had to spend like $300, and that was when a rodent chewed up the wiring harness. So if we do have to do a battery, that's going to be something I think we'll have to add to our service, expenses.
But even all in, it's still
5 years,
ridiculously cheap.
It's going to be cheap, yeah.
Yep.
And hopefully with the new S that we have and the X, they have the new lithium,
Isn't it 2170s?
I think it's just a few cells that they put, and it's a smaller, and it's more like a 16 volt instead of 12 volt or something like that. But it hopefully will last even longer. We'll see.
James said, flip the Raven for 90-ish thousand right there.
You might be able to, and then that would help.
That would offset
the
anything.
upgrade cost.
But again, so we have like the little devil on your shoulder saying, get the plaid. And then you have the little angel saying, save the money. Jim got it right on too. Save the 40K, invest more in Tesla stock, and possibly get a Cybertruck free from the profits in 2 years.
Especially with the price
love that
down
idea.
currently. Hopefully it will be going back up soon.
Not investment advice, but I love that idea. Chris Bates said, I love bioweapon defense mode. So many reviewers miss it when comparing the Y to other EVs. I agree. Bioweapon defense mode is highly underrated.
And that's something that wasn't originally in the Y. So
Exactly.
nice.
That was added, and that's a great addition. But we tested it. We actually took a cigarette, matches, lit it, put it kind of by the intake, and you could see the smoke getting sucked in. Nothing in the cabin.
And you had a little sensor that detected.
VOCs.
Yeah.
Let me find the sensor.
Yeah, it detected something, but basically it did its job. And that's something too, if you're doing a road trip across like the central United States, if we go to Kansas, Nebraska, stuff like that to visit family, there's a lot of like feedlots that can smell pretty bad. And so it's really nice if you can just turn on the bioweapon defense mode and then you don't have any sort of odor there. Okay, so he's got his little sensor here.
Oh yeah, it is a VOC meter. It was this guy.
Yeah, so, and I don't know.
Oh look, we're 0 down here.
That
Hey,
was
look at that.
while back we did that video. I think that was when, I don't know, that was a while back, but basically we tested the bioweapon defense mode.
It tells you different levels if your air is fresh, and it tells you your VOC level, your parts per million, and all that. So yeah, actually kind of a cool little meter. Not gonna lie. But yeah, it worked out great. Where was I? Sorry, chat moved again. Brett said I ordered the new long range X 5-seater, gray with black FSD. Nice. Oh, Leyden Shanghai. I've actually seen several people get 5-seater estimated delivery dates.
Yes, we forgot to
but
kind of
no
mention
one
that.
has ever received one.
But I have seen some people are getting delivery dates in the next 2 weeks, so we could see the first 5-seat Model X deliveries, by next week.
So, biggest question, will those rear bench seats have a fold-down armrest with Qi charging like the Model S?
That would be interesting to see. Hopefully the answer is yes.
I think it's yes. It has to be yes, right?
it should be.
Should be, yes. I guess that's...
You'd think that was the delay, is that they needed to add that, because the 6-seaters do not have the second row or third row wireless charging. And so hopefully the 5 and 7-seaters do.
Yep. Deathshock did the numbers for us. It said average Colorado gas price for regular is $3.97, $4.30 for mid, and $4.60 for premium.
Wow.
$4.60?
Wow.
Whew.
So yeah, if you calculate how
I
much
love driving a Tesla even
we're
more.
saving per month, because one,
Yeah.
we're generating our own electricity, two, we're not buying gas. So we did a video many years ago, and we were
Maybe we should redo that
we were
now.
probably saving like $400. We could be saving maybe $600 or $800 a month. I guess my driving has gone down, so that might, would lower our potential, our mileage every month. But yeah, we should do an updated version on that and see how much we're saving now.
Yeah, I think especially now with
Because no electric bill,
the price.
and no gas bill. Yeah.
I'd say we are sitting pretty. Let's see. David said I'd say at least 90% is supercharging out of the 200,000.
Oh,
so
wow. Because he's got the free supercharging.
I'm gonna do some quick math. 200,000. Oh, that's
like
180,000.
Yeah.
I can do that in my head.
But
Times what? 250 average price maybe?
I don't know. No, what do you mean? Do you mean like 33 cents or something?
Or no,
32?
What's your average gallon per mile in a vehicle? Maybe like 30?
I don't know.
So if we divide 180,000 divided by 30,
to calculate how much gas would it cost?
yeah, like how
Okay.
many gallons he would have gone through
Yeah.
is roughly 6,000 gallons. If we multiply that by, say, its average price of $2.50, that's $15,000
Yeah,
in
that he
potential
would've-
savings.
Yeah, but that's at a really cheap gas price. If it's now more than that,
Yeah.
he's maybe saved $20 or more $1,000 with that free supercharger.
You did good, David. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Calculating that out is really nice. Let's see. John said Teslas with unlimited supercharging miles. If you paid Tesla to swap the battery pack, would you lose the supercharging miles? I believe it's tied to the vehicle.
Yeah, it's the vehicle.
So yeah, you'd still be okay.
And it could get better too, because
Yep.
basically some of the older vehicles at one time, they did like change it to kind of reduce, if you've charged a lot, to reduce how fast you can supercharge. But if you do replace the battery, they're using newer batteries, not old ones. And the newer ones it might be like, say you have a 75, you might get a battery that's like a 90 or something like that, and it might be software locked. And so, or it might be, I don't know, 350 volts or 400 volts, whatever. But basically, you might be able to charge back again closer to 150 kilowatts. Because actually on our S100D, we've charged at 187 kilowatts before. And that's amazing, because when the car was first delivered, I think you could only hit 120 kilowatts. But as Tesla kept upgrading the supercharger network, it could go from 120, 135, 150, and we even hit 187, which was amazing on an old car like that. Older car. It's only 5 years old. But and that's what a V3 supercharger, when it's at the battery's the right temperature, it's the right temperature outside. So you're not going to hit that all the time, but at least that's like the peak value we've hit on that car.
Yep.
So again, with other older cars to get upgraded battery, you might be able to hit those numbers too.
Yep.
And that just helps shorten the recharge time, because you can charge faster.
Definitely. Wayne said, I ordered my Model Y September 16th of 2021 and used your referral code and took delivery February 19th of 2022 and received my 1,500 kilometers of free supercharging.
Oh, cool. So he must be, maybe he's in Canada or maybe Europe, but yeah, congratulations.
Yep. Awesome. Thank you so much for the support. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, it was nice. We really liked the referral program when it existed. It's kind of bad that it went away, but I can see the cars are selling, everybody recognizes Tesla. Well, not everybody, but it's an amazing vehicle, and it can, Tesla realized we don't need a referral program anymore because people are going to buy them anyways. They got years worth of, orders.
Yep. Wilson is here from Brazil. That's pretty exciting. Welcome. Brian said, still on the original battery in my 2018 Model 3 all-wheel drive. Probably replace that this year to be safe. The 12 volt. Okay. The 12 volt.
Yeah, the 12
For
volt,
some reason, my mind, because we were just talking about
the other one,
full
but no.
battery packs, I was like, oh my God, what?
No, the 12 volt. Yeah.
12 volt.
There are a few people who have to replace their other high voltage battery, but
it would still be
rare.
under warranty if it was a 2018.
Unless he was really high mileage, yeah.
True. True,
But
true.
my mom, she's got a 2018 all-wheel drive Model 3 as well. But I think
Is she even over
I
10,000
think
yet?
she's got like 12,000 miles
Okay,
on it or
okay.
something like that.
Very, very low
let me
mileage
check and
Model
see.
3.
She has...
And she actually has the OG silver. It looks really
Yes,
good.
quite a rare. We do see another one around town every
Yep.
once in a while. I haven't seen it recently, but again, I don't drive that much anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like she's got less than 13,000 miles on hers. So.
Yeah. Let's see. Ronald said spray your wire harness with hot pepper wax from Agway
yeah.
to stop rodent damage. Oh, maybe we should.
I know
do
there
that.
are some things like that.
Maybe we should do
I think
that.
this happened like the car was parked out at the airport a lot. There was a lot of trips back then. It was a couple years ago. And wait, no, that wasn't even this car. That was the 2017.
That was the 2017.
The red S75D that we had that had that problem. And fortunately, we don't have that issue. Haven't seen any rodents around here recently.
Yeah. Edwise said everything is going up in price and will be going up for a couple more years. Yeah, I imagine vehicles, like, we all really want to see EVs come down in price, but everything is getting expensive. Going
Yeah.
out to eat is expensive. Going to even get some of, like, the essentials, they're all getting really expensive at the grocery store because the fuel price is going up, which means transportation of goods goes up. It's
Yeah.
very, like, trickle down. Everything is feeling it.
But yeah, it would be nice if you know, Tesla needs to really get that Tesla semi out there. We
Oh,
haven't
you
seen
bet.
anything on that recently, but definitely if they can get those out there, that would help reduce costs on transportation. But it's, again, you're gonna have to pay for the semi, and it's gonna take a long time to replace those semis with either hybrid or electric versions.
So I need to redo this math. Death Shock said average mile per gallon in the U.S. is 24.
Oh, so he saved even more. Dave
So
saved even more.
Let me change this. Luckily, I have it right here. $18,072 worth
Wow.
of free
Supercharging.
electricity, gasoline, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
fuel. So even better. That number looks way better.
One thing, you know, you're talking about increased prices. I saw a TikTok video the other day, and somebody
Uh-huh.
was at KFC, and it
Oh,
was just,
no.
I don't remember if it was like 12-piece tenders or 16-piece with some sides and biscuits and stuff. It was like $56.
So last
KFC.
time I bought food for you and I think it was
Yeah.
almost $30.
Yeah, at KFC.
Yeah.
So it's not cheap.
Yeah, I mean, everything is just getting crazy expensive. Dave said, sadly, my supercharger miles expired the other day without me using them all.
Yeah, I wish they wouldn't expire or that they would have extended. They did.
Or allow you to transfer some.
Yeah.
But
It'd
the
be nice if
issue-
you could gift them, but I mean, then
the
they have to
issue
actually
then-
pay for them or use them. Yeah.
No, the issue then's going to become is people would sell them.
Yeah, I could see that.
And Tesla doesn't want that. But it would be nice if there was some way to... something to do with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, maybe once you get to, like, 1,000 or 5,000 supercharging miles, those stay on your account permanently. I mean, people don't need 1 million supercharging miles,
Yeah.
obviously. But, like, a few thousand, it'd be nice if those would just stay on there until you use them. Let's see. John said credit card charge gasoline generally costs 10 cents per gallon more.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah, when you were talking about the difference between gas and
Oh.
cash and card.
Card.
Yeah, prices.
Yeah.
Yeah, so imagine on a if you're buying 20 gallons or 15 gallons, it adds a couple dollars,
Yeah.
several dollars.
David said we'll definitely follow up about 1,000 free mile supercharging I didn't get. Do you know where I can find the code that I used from you guys? It was Eric 1286, right?
I don't have to go look and see, but it's been a while.
I think it's 1286.
Yeah.
Hold on.
But they should be
can't
able to
look
see it
up.
on your account, and we might be able to look on our end too. I think we could see if you can tell us like what date you took delivery. We can look it up on our end and see if we probably got miles too. But I don't know.
The cool thing though is if you type Derek on YouTube, I'm the first thing that comes up, so that's exciting. I'm just going to an old video to see the
You might be
the
able to see it in the
code.
loot box. Let me see if it still shows up there. I don't know because you can still get
Yes,
it on.
it
like,
was ERIK1286.
Yeah.
That was the code. So if you just let them know that, hopefully they can get those 1,000 miles, and they should be able to look up your order and see it was placed during the timeline where you could use referral codes, and hopefully they can get that for you.
Yeah, because I'm looking at like we can see in the app, you can see a lot of them, and the most recent one I see is like September, so I don't know if they're still showing them anymore. The September of 2021 is Sheldon. So.
Oh, that was our last one?
Yeah, Sheldon.
Thank you, Sheldon.
Cooper, I don't know.
That's actually kind of funny. Slew Dog said on a blue Tesla Model Y, white seats, or the stock black interior, what's your choice? MSM is my second choice, but grown fond of the blue. The blue and white just looks... I always sound like this, but I love the white interior. But the blue and white, the red and white...
Yeah,
to be honest,
nice
are the ones with like the coolest contrast and look. And today, Dan brought over his blue Model X with the white interior, and it looks really good. So I'm pro white interior all the time.
Yep.
The Plaid did have the black interior, but I kind of grew fond of that as well. I didn't mind it, actually. So, I don't know. Let's see. Amy said, I got meals for 4 of us from McDonald's tonight, over $40, and the boys would have eaten more.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
We always, I know,
Literally.
it sounds weird, but we're pretty cheap, and we always check our offers in the app, and we're not afraid to go and get the 4 for $4 at Wendy's. And yeah, no, that's not the most nutritious food. We don't eat there every day, but from time to time, but we always check our apps. But even like when we go someplace a little healthier, like Chipotle or Cafe Rio or something like that, we earn a lot of points there. And if Cafe Rio offers a bonus, it's kind of like Chipotle or Qdoba, but if they offer double, triple points, we always are sure to go there. And I mean, I could eat there for a dozen meals for free. I've got so many points accumulated.
Yeah, we like,
but it's all good, nutritious, fresh food there.
I mean, a lot of people we do buy a lot of Teslas. Don't get me wrong.
But we're really cheap in other areas.
But we can be extraordinarily cheap and save money in a lot of other spots.
Like we cut our own hair.
Literally.
Well, no, actually, I cut Eric's hair. He cuts mine. So.
Well, true. Okay, good point. But like, we don't.
We save money in other ways.
We do.
Yes.
We don't really like. I don't know.
But yeah, but it is amazing how prices have gone up lately.
It is. So a couple people said supercharger miles convert to merchandise credit. That would be cool.
Yeah, I thought
that'd be interesting.
Yeah, I thought at one time they'd mentioned that, but yeah, it never really happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember too. We were saying it would have been nice if, like, when they had the referral program, instead of making it the same amount of miles no matter what vehicle you bought, they should have had like a Model 3 referral was like half a credit or something.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And you got credits that way, but unfortunately,
that's why it's no longer here.
They couldn't afford to do that because with people buying the Model 3 like that in mass quantities, they couldn't keep the referral program around anymore.
Hot take, and I'll probably get hate for this. I don't think the Model 3 and Y should have been included in the referral program.
I don't know if was the Model Y or did it.
I think it
guess
was for a little
maybe
bit.
For the miles, but missed out on like the
right.
Roadster and stuff like that. But yeah, it's again, I don't think
hot take, and I know I'll probably get people yelling at me for that.
It's just that the margin on those vehicles is not the same
smaller.
as on like the S and X, and so it just wasn't maintainable. And as we saw, that's why this referral program went away.
Yep, exactly. Or it should have been less.
Yeah.
Let's see. Chris said, John actually said, I eat at restaurants that give 10 to 20% veteran discounts.
Yeah.
Yep. All about
it
that.
Adds up,
That's awesome. Chris Bates said, I sold my Model S with free supercharging to a guy that uses the free supercharging every day. Since I bought my Model Y, I have only supercharged once just to make sure it works.
Exactly. And that's what when Dan was here today, he was talking about getting ready to go on a road trip, and we said, supercharge once beforehand. Well, it should work fine. We did mention that back at the end of 2017, there was a bad batch of Tesla charge ports where the port just was a little bit too small, and people who got cars that month, including us, we got the S75D that month, you could not insert the supercharger plug. It would work fine with a wall connector, home connector, the mobile connector, which you'd think they were the exact same size, but the supercharger would not fit. So people were going to superchargers and they couldn't plug it in all the way. And so definitely, if you're getting ready to go on a big road trip, test it out first. And chances
Yeah.
are 99%.
It's always a good
gonna work,
idea to check.
but
though.
double check. But also, there's been a couple other people that found out for some reason they couldn't charge, and like they didn't have a credit card on their account or something like that, and it just or sometimes there's just a fluke. Sometimes there's something wrong with the charging hardware, because when you do charge with supercharger, it bypasses like the internal charging network and charging parts, and so it's definitely good to check that out before you go on a road trip. And
Yep.
if it works, should be fine.
Yeah, definitely.
And you know what? Have we charged my car? I don't know. Supercharged.
The S?
Yeah. I don't know if we've supercharged my car. I haven't. Well, I haven't. I've only driven it 3 times. But
No,
I don't
we
think
haven't.
we have. So that's something we
probably
should go
check it.
test it out. But basically,
Definitely before any road trip.
yeah.
Yeah. Chris, sorry, I keep getting caught in front. Diego said, save money with Floby. Sponsor us, Floby.
Yeah,
please.
we should get them as a sponsor.
Chris Bates said, you guys don't take big trips around the world. Your vacations are cars. Well, fun fact. We used to, but then COVID happened.
yeah, so
But
we've-
fun fact, we do have some coming up.
Yeah.
And I was actually going to see, I don't really want to post vacation content on this channel because it doesn't really make sense. It's not really Tesla related.
Unless it's like when we were in Iceland and we rented
That's
a
different.
Model 3 and we drove
But
around the entire country
the
of
vacations
Iceland in
we
a
have
Tesla.
coming up aren't really Tesla related, but I still have my personal channel. Should I vacation vlog that and post it on there? I don't know.
I think, yeah, it'd probably be better to put it over on that channel. You can mention it, and then
Well,
maybe we'll get some subscribers.
It's definitely going to be on the personal channel if we do it, but would people be interested in a vacation vlog that's not Tesla related? I don't know.
I think some people would be, and then also we'd get different viewers that
Yeah.
way that are.
It could be
different
fun.
types of vacations. But definitely, if we do our road trips, I think we would still.
They'll be
include
on
them
this channel.
or you could put them on both channels, but or you just point them over to the other one.
Yeah.
But basically, if
They'll
it's
probably be on
Tesla,
this one.
if we're in a Tesla road trip, we'll definitely still continue to post them on this channel.
Yep. Let's see. Josh Allen said, I decided to confirm my plaid order for now. Going to try to switch to blue and white from my white on white order though. Funny you just mentioned how good it looks.
Yeah.
So be careful though, because if you try to change your build, they might, and by might, most people have said this,
For the price.
switch your pricing.
Yeah.
But blue and white does look good. I'll give you that. Dave Mack said, yes, those free Roadsters are going to be real interesting if it ever gets made. Some people have 2 free ones lined up.
Some people have 2 each.
Yeah. I have 2, he has 2. So yeah, we can't wait for those. Those will be awesome. Mark said to Amy, McDonald's is trying to go upscale for more profit, charging more for the same things, but calling it different names. Can't eat cheap at McDonald's anymore. I'd go elsewhere. I actually do dollar menu because I'm real bougie and cheap. But actually lately, if you go and get the McDonald's app, they actually have $1 breakfast sandwiches, and you can get a $5 breakfast sandwich for only $1. I'm telling you, we do a lot of food coupon stuff.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Or like on Wendy's, we don't go there often, but it used to be like you would get
Free
you could get a
fry
free
or-
or a free like Baconator if you
Yeah.
bought like any item. So it's like you can buy a dollar item and get a $5 item free or something like
Yeah.
that. So again, not something we eat every day, but if you're on the road, it's a quick meal.
Yep. Rich said, I have a referral that will be taking delivery this month for an SR Model 3 ordered September 2021 in San Diego as well. Before the referral program was killed, will I still get 6 months extension of miles? You should.
Yeah.
So just keep an eye on it, and if you don't, I would email an advisor and just be like, hey, I saw this referral took deliveries, but my stuff didn't get extended. Can you look into it?
Yeah.
I don't know, though. Their whole program has kind of been dissolved, and I don't think anyone really monitors
I don't know.
those
The last
emails.
yeah.
So maybe they can escalate it for you. Cham said, I was called out by a Karen as a rich Tesla owner. I asked her why she wears Gucci shoes and did her nails and hair daily,
Wow.
financed her brand new iPhone 13, and pays $80 for a tank of gas.
Yeah.
Priorities.
Exactly. Because I saw somebody the other day was complaining about $5 gallon of gas and it was going up to $100, and it's just like, yeah, I understand the prices are going up, but if you
But
choose
that's
to buy an EV,
yeah.
you're not going to be complaining about the price again.
But the funny thing is my friends, some of my friends still have gasoline powered cars. It is what it is. I've seen some of them complain on Facebook, but also I see their photos every day of them with their like $12 Starbucks drink.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, so you're complaining about the price of gas, but you're not complaining about your $12 Starbucks drink that you literally get
Yeah.
every single day.
Yeah, spending hundreds of dollars a month on coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, definitely priorities for sure. And by all means, if you can afford the $12 Starbucks drink every day, go for it. But then complaining about other things kind of doesn't look the greatest. Let's see. Amy said we don't eat that type of stuff very often, so I was surprised how much it went up. Yeah.
Yep.
On said we should save money and just shave our head.
Yeah, yeah.
Should we shave yours
I don't
first?
think so. No, I don't think so. I'm not going to. One thing though, when we're talking about food, I can't believe how affordable Chipotle is, because
True.
it's just like
They really haven't raised their price in years.
And here's a little secret.
Yeah.
You can get like extra beans, extra rice,
Yeah.
extra salsa,
Extra
extra
veggies.
fajita veggies,
Cheese.
extra cheese, extra this. No additional cost. And for us, I can get 2 meals out of that for like $8. So basically, that's $4 a meal for fresh food. That's never, it's not like fast food McDonald's, but it's fresh food. 2 meals, $4 each. It's an unbelievable deal. Cafe Real's still really good, a little more expensive, but still a good deal.
Yeah. True. Edgewise said all fast food's getting expensive. Mark said there's not a lot of options on road trips, unfortunately,
That's
because
true,
sit-down
yeah.
meals take too long for supercharging.
Sometimes now it depends on where
Yeah,
you're going.
all the time, actually.
We find though, like when we do like road trips, often it's like every other stop is kind of a longer one.
Yeah.
So you might do, the first stop might be a quick bathroom break, get a drink or something. The second one, if you want to charge longer, is maybe you might have time for a sit down. But yeah, even then it's like you don't need to stay for like, it depends on how slow the restaurant is, but you might not have time for a slower sit down restaurant.
Yep. Let's see. Josh said, sounds like I need to consider a wrap instead of getting price change on blue. Plan on getting PPF anyways. That means I can go any color or even snake skin. I support that idea.
Yeah, because you can definitely make it your own. And the cool thing now is that with the app, you can change the color. You can't put a pattern on there, but you can change the color so it gets close to what your wrap looks like.
Yo. Yeah, definitely awesome. And if you wrap it, definitely tweet me photos because I love seeing everyone's wrap Tesla. I really do. Luke said today I supercharged for free and used coupons at Meijer, Chicago area. Yeah, it's really funny when like my coworkers are like, hey, where are you going to get food? And I'm just like looking through my phone to see who I have a coupon for. And they're like, but wait, you drive Teslas. And it's like, still can be cheap.
One thing I like too is like some stores do have, it's not supercharging, but they have like level 2 chargers.
Yep.
You can use those. You might only be able to add like 5-10 miles, but
Better than nothing.
Yeah, it's free, usually free charging right there. Saves a little bit on electricity.
Yep. Alwyn said, have you guys ever considered going vegan? Meat and dairy industry is a sustainable nightmare. 15% of global emissions. Interested in Beyond Meat and Impossible? Actually,
yes, I had an Impossible.
What did you have today?
I had the Impossible Whopper. I mean, I have not had beef in like over 20 something. Well, there's been like 2 or 3 instances
few mishaps
in the last 3 years when I had beef, but it was not by choice. But basically, I haven't eaten beef in like 23 years, I guess. And so yeah, I had the Impossible Whopper today, and I'm vegetarian. It's not vegan, but like whenever I go to Chipotle, I usually get sofritas or their veggie chorizo or something like that. So yeah, I don't need meat.
Yep. Now I will occasionally. I'm more of a chicken eater than anything, but the Beyond and Impossible, we love them both. We eat them quite often, actually. And I have no problem with that.
Yeah, and we know that they're not the healthiest thing. It's still better to maybe just eat straight vegetables and stuff like that. But it's a good way to kind of
it's basically beets.
But it replaces that meat meal, and it does help if you're not a vegetarian. It's a way to kind of go that way and eat less meat.
Yeah. But and then in terms of dairy, neither one of us drink milk.
No, we have like almond milk or
soy milk.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
I'm actually lactose intolerant, so I drink a lot of soy milk.
And we just found this new thing called Cotto.
Cotto.
It's kind of like ice cream, but it's made with avocados, and it sounds weird, but basically it uses like the fat from avocados and make this non-dairy dessert. Tastes just as good as ice cream, if not better. And
it's
smoother.
Better, smooth. The only downside though is a lot of those options tend to be a lot more expensive.
Yeah, that's why.
So in time, hopefully they come down.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. When you go to restaurants, sometimes those like non-meat options are a lot more expensive. So if we like today, I had a coupon, so it was like $6.
Yeah. But yeah, we definitely kind of look around and everything. Amy said they really should get a medium coffee, cream, and 2 sugars. I hear it's the best from Starbucks. I imagine it's a lot cheaper too. They all get the bougie drinks. I don't even know what they're called, but they're crazy. Matt said Chipotle has gotten inconsistent around me. Well, we went to one the other day, and it wasn't like our usual one, and they didn't do extra of anything.
Or if it was,
and it was
you
very
couldn't tell.
skimpy.
Yeah,
I had
yeah.
like 4 pieces of chicken in my bowl. So you got to find the right one and give them the business. Edgewise said, I don't really like fast food, but the fast part saves me a lot of time, which is hard to justify spending on cooking for myself or a sit-down place. Okay, so I'm not going to lie, that's how I think, because the time that it would take me to cook, I could put into something that could make me more money than what it would cost for me to buy pre-made food. Does that make sense?
Or like
So I stay busy and I don't normally cook much. I think I've made a few meals with you and stuff, but I don't do much. Diego said, dinner time, guys. Have a great week. Need more videos and less secrets.
it's already
LOL.
it is already like 8:35.
Yeah, it is. It's getting
Should be
late.
kind of wrapping things up soon.
Wrap it up here.
Kind of getting off of Tesla too.
Yeah. On said, I get Costco pizza for $10 and it lasts me a week. Damn, love that. John said, Kia Niro that I'm renting costs $35,000 new, and you don't always have to buy a Tesla if you can't afford it. Oh yeah. There's lots of other options now.
Yeah, and that's a great price point. You know, definitely a lot cheaper than the cheapest Tesla, because I don't think they have the SR available anymore.
Yeah. Matt said there's no food I can stop for in the Taycan. I mean, I used to not allow food in my cars, but whatever. As long as people don't make a mess, I don't really care.
Plus, you can just run, if you want, you can just run that the
Bioweapon.
bioweapon and get rid of any smell if there's any complaint.
Mark said, Josh Allen, word of caution, color wraps are completely different material than PPF and not nearly as tough. Yes, but also there is a brand coming out with colored PPF now. So I don't remember which brand it is. I contacted them and we talked a little bit. But there's a brand that actually has colored PPF, which is great because you can do complete color changes and still have that thickness. So definitely check that out. Let's see. A lot of pizza comments. We love that. Gavin said, can confirm the 2022 hitch from the X fits the 2021 and 2022 S. Fitted one today, fits perfectly. Interesting. Have to look into that. Roger said our very skinny 15-year-old boy could eat half a Costco cheese pizza by himself.
Wow.
That's impressive.
So good. Maybe we should. Oh, never mind.
Are we going to go get cheese pizza and try to eat it ourselves? Maybe.
Never mind.
Matt said, so how's Chipotle's fake meat? Also, yeah, Beyond Meat is great. The Chipotle sofritas is actually good.
And the chorizo or whatever was good too, but it was extra spicy. It was spicy. I still liked it, but I still prefer the chorizo. Or was it chorizo? Yeah.
Yo.
No.
Sofritas.
Sofritas, sorry.
You combine the sofritas and the chorizo. Nice.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. On said, planning any local meetups soon, almost springtime. Well, we had one, but at the last minute, not really last minute, but it was planned. But then we were told that we can't have as many people as we were thinking.
Oh yeah, a couple weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, so we had to greatly reduce it and just invited a few local friends.
Yeah, so we can't have. That was what, last weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hopefully soon. Hopefully very soon. We'll definitely tweet something out. Yeah. Roger. Medium coffee, cream, 2 sugars. It's like losing my virginity, but in my mouth.
But then he said, if you guys don't get that reference, we are breaking up. So,
Oh, wait. Are we breaking up?
I know we'll have to.
Are we breaking up? I'm going to have to Google it.
We'll
real
get back to that.
quick. Let's see. On said, how can I go about getting Powerbulls only already have solar? Has Tesla changed that yet?
I don't know. I know that they were going back and forth because one time
Yeah.
you were requiring solar, and I thought they went back a while so that you could order it, but I haven't checked their website recently to find out.
Yeah. I'll have to look that up. Maybe reach out to them, though, and just be like, I bought your solar. Can I get a Powerball edition finally? I would try that. Let's see. Oaty milk. Oh, we'll have to try that.
Oatly.
And yes, Beyond Meat is actually on Wall Street. You can invest in it. I've looked into it before, but I haven't really jumped into it. Oh yeah, S-Tech. That's who I meant for the wrap, or PPF. They have different PPF in colors, which is kind of cool. Yeah. Cool. Well, I mean, we've been live for like 2 hours and 15 minutes and it's getting kind of late. So we'll probably go ahead and end it there. Huge thanks to everyone in chat. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for helping answer questions when we got a little overwhelmed. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for the super chats. As always, not required, but greatly appreciated. We'll probably be doing something fun with the super chats this week as well. They always kind of go back into creating content and some fun stuff. But that's basically it. As always, huge thanks to our channel sponsor, Abstract Ocean. If you haven't yet, definitely check them out. A lot of really cool, useful accessories for Model SX3 and Y. We have used them. We have even helped develop a bunch of products for them and some more coming soon. So definitely check them out. And yeah, I guess we'll see you guys this week. I should have a video or two hopefully going up. Hopefully this week settles down a little bit so we can get some stuff edited. I see everyone said it was Free Guy, that movie quote. Didn't we see that?
We saw that. That was pretty recently too. Yes.
Where we'll have to go back and rewatch it because I don't remember that quote.
Oh, remember too? He would go to. Didn't he get
Oh,
coffee
that's when he got the coffee from the girl. Okay, I think I remember now. I'll double watch it though, Roger. Don't break up with us.
We did see that a couple months back. Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, have a good week, everybody, and we will see you all live next weekend. Bye.